All right. What is up? I believe we are live. Welcome, everybody, to another episode, well, the Christmas special of the Break the Rules stream. I am your host, Lev Polyakov, aka LevPo on Twitter, and today is the Christmas special. Merry Christmas to one and all. I love you all. Let me know how my audio is doing because I raised it up, but the other button I raised it even higher so that hopefully we're not going to have the problems we had last time. Anyway, we have the great Corpse Carter here. We have Tsuyami. We have Bane. And we're going to have a lot more people coming in. But tell us about, right now, your current Christmas experience, starting with Corpse Carter, going down to Tsuyami and Bane.
Well, it's not much of an experience, but it's good. Usually I travel and see family, but obviously that's not in the cards. So really it's just a day like any other. But I got a little bit of rum and I got a little bit of milk to go with it. Gonna try to maybe go for a nice walk after this. So far, pretty good Christmas.
Nice.
Not
Tsuyami.
very Christmassy though, but a good Christmas nonetheless.
No, it is very fitting for Krampus, which we're going to talk about later. But Tsuyami, how's your Christmas going, and how's your Christmas going, Bane?
I'm at work right now, and I actually didn't know that Bane was going to be on here. And it's kind of weird that he didn't tell me because he's at my house right now. So, do you want to explain that?
No, I mean, I don't.
Anyway, yeah, it's going to be a good Christmas this year, I think. So,
Good to know. And if you don't mind me asking, what kind of work do you do, Tsuyami?
I work at a nursing home.
So, wait, there was that whole story about the nursing homes and COVID, and can you give us any insider details on what's going on with the nursing homes right now?
The facility I work at is like one of the least troubled in our area, so we have like the lowest cases here. So I don't really know. Like, the only thing right now is that we were having visits before, but now they've like completely stopped that again. It was like lifted for a while and they were like allowing visits in nursing homes, but now like since like there was like a resurge or whatever, no one's allowed to visit again. So it's kind of sad.
And I wonder, how do you notice that affecting the older people there?
Yes. I find that like it's when they feel like their family has given up on them, or they feel like or they're like not seeing them as much. Like, I feel like we've had a lot more like deaths, because I feel like when people's family members will like, I've seen someone who has just like gotten a cold here, but then his son was like, don't send him to the hospital, and then he just like wound up dying. I feel like when your family like gives up on you, you just like, your body also just like gives up on you, because
Well, it's
Oh,
kind of like
man.
deaths of despair.
What was that?
You can call them like deaths of despair.
kind of, yeah.
True. And there is another kind of death, which there's this gentleman named Doug Crane, who was my teacher for second year of animation at a School of Visual Arts. And it was he was a really nice guy, great artist, a great teacher. And he was in the same, I believe, facility. I don't know if it was an animation school too, or art school. I think it was art school, with this lady he met back in the 40s or 50s. And they ended up falling in love. They ended up getting married, having kids. And the very same day, they both died. And, they had different things. But when she passed away, he was like, all right, well, I guess it's time for me to go too. And it's a very interesting thing. Like,
Yeah, it's really
Oh.
strange. It's like, I don't know, their body or like their mind gives up, and then suddenly like they just die. It's very weird.
but is it giving up so much as, I mean, if there is an afterlife, is it giving up so much as joining your
Yeah,
significant
no, I
other?
don't see it as, no, I mean just like giving up on this world, I suppose. But yeah, I see what you mean.
But there is
Well-
a link between actual illness and depression too.
Yeah. This is
And in the nursing homes today, I don't know, like, see, being a Russian Jew, everybody sticks really close together in our family. And we have people in our family who are both, like, Jewish and Russian and whatever. The point is that it doesn't matter where we come from, like, whether it's like the father's line, mother's line, we all stick together. And when we came to America, we saw how strange it was that you had so many people who just bring their older people into the nursing homes and leave them there, and then that's fucking it. You know, like these people
Yeah.
who are supposed to give you your entire life, this is how you treat them. It's like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know. Is this strictly
Yeah.
an American thing, or?
No, I see that all the time where it's like a lot of people actually do get visitors here, and they'll get like family members who come every day, which is really sad now because they can't come at all. And like I swear the ones that were like regulars that would always have like family visiting are like the ones that have like passed away here, because I don't know, but
No, what's up? How's it going?
Hello. Well,
Hello.
we have some more people here. We got more Sko, the Great Red
Actually,
Skeleton, back
yes,
with
sir.
us, and Disco Orpheus. So I want to move this conversation to talking about the more mythical sides of Christmas. So Disco Orpheus and Morse Code and Corpse Carter, I think you guys are more proficient in that part of it. So let's start with Corpse Carter, because you were talking about Krampus before we started the stream. Can you talk a little bit about him?
Yeah, in the past 5 years, there's been a real Krampus mania amongst Americans, but especially amongst, for lack of a better word, normies. You know, a lot of people because a lot of people have known Krampus forever, and there's parts of the world where Krampus is just a normal thing. A lot of Americans, they kind of really grafted onto Krampus to sort of rebel against the whole hallmark idea of Christmas. And a lot of it is that he's scary looking and he's got horns and there's something vaguely satanic about him. But I just want to argue that Krampus is a good guy. Like Krampus,
Good guy.
There's nothing antinomian or left-hand path about Krampus. He's a good guy and he's on our side. So I kind of want to not rebrand Krampus, because I think enough people know that about Krampus. But a lot of people do get the wrong idea, and people are so obsessed with Krampus. But I just want to remind everyone that he's not a monster and he's not a good guy, and he's not a bad guy. And you know, there's in fact nothing demonic about him.
Do you think that people only caught on in the past few years, not because it's like edgy, but just because it's like marketable?
Yeah, that too. I also think that too. You know, it's a little bit like Nightmare Before Christmas or Halloween or something.
Makes sense.
Trying to find my skeleton mask right now so I can get on camera.
Oh, excellent. That is going to be the first time we have the Great Morse Code on camera. And as far as what Krampus does, that's what I don't know. Like, what is his job?
So Krampus, if you've been bad, Santa doesn't give you coal. Krampus comes and he whips you with a stick, and he puts you in a bag and he takes you away. But to be fair, they come back. Like Krampus doesn't like kill the kids. He takes them. He gives them a huge fright, and then he takes them back. And I'm just gonna pull up an article about Krampus now, because that's the other people get wrong. Like people think that he's like this kind of ender of worlds, which is actually not quite true.
So
yeah, because that's what the movie promoted.
Yeah, exactly.
Krampus
That movie
is
sucked, but it was kind of a sick visual, but it fucking sucked.
Wait, what movie are you talking about?
They made a Krampus movie, I think.
It's very Five Nights at Freddy's tier, so it's kind of funny, but the visuals on it are really cool of like the actual Krampus like in the distance, but
Yeah,
up
he
close,
looks pretty cool. And
Yeah.
there's
up
also,
close he looks. They like didn't actually make like an animated face for him. They just gave him like a mask, and it was really dumb, but he looked cool from far away.
Yeah, all of his minions too were just like people in like
Minions?
Well, no, he had toys. Like he would
Did you just
control
say
people's
minion?
toys.
like
Yes.
Despicable Me, like minions.
Yeah, minion.
Hello, Sasha. Welcome.
Oh, what's up?
Welcome
Sorry,
to
I
the
was
show,
just
Sasha.
Oh,
So here's where I want to go from here. We were talking about Krampus. We have some comments here from Aman Saad, who's going to be joining us soon. Nya is an abusive nursing home worker. Nya, do you concur, or do you...
Bro, I work at the front desk. I don't touch old people.
Well, you still receive some stories from them, right? Like some stories of wisdom?
Yeah, I used to. I actually am locked out of the thing because I'm in a memory care unit. So they don't interact with me, but I used to be with like the old people on the other side, because
So
we
what
have
kind
like
of
an
stories?
assisted living.
What kind of
I
stories
don't
did you
know. They would just tell me like about their childhood, like for hours, straight. It was really bad.
Well, what kind of childhood was it? I mean, these are people born in the 20s, 30s. What are we talking here?
There was this one guy that was like really rich, and he was just telling me about how he got really rich and kept telling me that I was beautiful and that his wife is looking down on him right now because he's flirting with me.
Oh, God. What a rascal. What a rapscallion.
Yeah, he was a charmer, dude.
Oh, man.
Was he cute?
Well,
Was he cute?
I'm
Yeah,
really
was he
looking for
like a
the skeleton
old
mask,
guy?
guys. I'm doing everything I
Or-
can to find this. Hold on.
I
Oh,
trust you.
what's going on, Morse
He
code?
was in a
Are you here?
wheelchair, so.
What's up, guys? Oh wait, I'm getting a call
Hey.
from my mom. Hold on.
Okay,
Well,
wait.
I
Tell
don't
your
know
mom
if the
I said hi,
wheelchair-
man.
I mean, if he's not completely numb, then maybe there's a chance. I don't
What
know.
are you
Like,
implying?
well, I would have thought that old people, they would have gotten over that by now. But I wonder how it's going to be for like the millennial old people. Like, what are going to be the
wheelchairs?
thing? No, not just wheelchairs,
Oh.
but in general, the zest for life. Because this guy, at least the way you describe him to me, he seems like someone who did have, either through the elements of living through, World War II or whatever, he seems to have a zest for life. Kind of like if you've ever seen the Chris Chan documentary, and we are going to get, by the way, the guy who makes the documentary, because it's still an ongoing thing, Gino Samuel, he's going to be coming on, I believe, in early
That's
March. But
epic.
yes, it is epic. But anyway, when
Yeah,
it comes
Chris
to
Chan.
Chris Chan, he visited this girl who was like a troll, like she was a hot girl, but she was also trolling him. And he visited Chris Chan at the mall, and there was this pickle man who showed up afterwards
Pickle
and made
Man.
trouble. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
we
made
know.
trouble for Chris.
Stole her away.
But the important point here is that his father, Chris Chan's father, was actually very fucking charming, and you could tell like.
Oh yeah, the way he was talking to them. Yeah, I know what
Yeah.
you mean.
So, and he's probably just like an average guy. I don't know what the fuck is going on with your audio, Sasha. He was just like an average guy,
That was
probably,
accident.
who was living around that era. There were probably like every other guy was probably like him,
Yeah.
But I think that there may have been, and again, I don't want to be that fucking guy who's like, oh, everything was better back then, yada yada yada. But like some things we got to look at and say, what did they have that we lack
Well, I
today?
think what you're talking about is the Lindy pill. 'cause you have to
I
ask
mean,
yourself,
what
they gave
the
you
do
the
we
Lindy
have
pill.
that they lack?
Because like I can't imagine
I think
like a
that's the
70-year-old sad boy. Like, that'd be the most depressing thing ever. This wrinkly, old geriatric like guy in K-pop
Well, here's
fashion and all that.
That'd be
Well, that's-
based.
That's probably what's gonna happen. I mean,
Yeah,
I can't imagine
retirement
what the
home
old
down.
people
Yeah.
like. What are they gonna look like if we're talking about people from our generation, our
Yeah,
age?
I don't want to see
I'm
all
gonna
that,
be
honestly.
I'm gonna be dripped up as an old guy. I know that. I'm gonna get face tats soon. So I'm gonna be one of those old guys who just stand out. And I'm like a elite athlete, so I'll be able to walk and shit. Like if you
Nice.
look at like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like he's like 70. And
Wait, what'd you
motherfucker's,
say?
still jacked.
Whoa! No. See, I knew you were gonna fucking. I knew somebody was gonna fucking say that. It was in my head. I wanted to be like, no, let's just let the boat ride down the river, and hopefully we're not gonna encounter the rapids that I see in the horizon. Hopefully those
Can you run that
rapids are
one
gonna
back
go
real
away.
quick?
Sure.
What?
Here we got him on. We got him on. Sadhu joining us right now for the Christmas BTR stream. Listen, guys, I have no fucking idea if all of you guys are subscribed yet. If you are not subscribed, subscribe right fucking now. And I gotta keep moving these deer so that it matches up. Like, you guys can't see the deer, but everybody on YouTube, like, Amon, you see the deer. You know what I'm talking about, right? Amon, can you hear us?
Deer?
Yeah, so for those who are not aware, I have deer in my background right now that I keep moving around based on the configuration of the Zoom call. It's a much better green screen than the other one. So anyway,
Sorry.
Morse code. How was your Christmas?
I think he's finding a skeleton mask.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So
Oh,
we
you know
will
what?
go-
You know what? I just got back. Actually, I'm wearing it right
Oh,
now.
wow.
Awesome.
Just got back. Oh, I try to set this camera up because I really do want to get on face cam, but yeah, my Christmas is going great. I'm watching Lost right now. At the same time, it's kind of a chaotic day for me. It's really crazy. But anyway, Yeah, I'm having a great time here. Just got back from a Christmas party from last night. Fantastic. I watched Elf with my old family friends. Just a great time. Early merry day for me.
What'd you get
Excellent.
your GF, bro?
Elf is a great.
A letter actually, a really sweet letter.
Oh.
And something I cannot reveal on live right now.
Oh
What?
I can't do that. I can't reveal right now,
Yo.
but
Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
hey,
she might be watching at home. You know, I
Hey.
can't say too much.
Hey, GF.
But yeah, it should be cool.
So what is going to be happening after? I mean, I guess this is sort of like a Christmas New Year's stream because I don't know who's going to be here for New Year's as well. But Christmas is supposed to be, at least according to the astrology, the holiday when the sun slowly starts to come back. The equinox is over.
Yeah.
You know, winter is finally going to start receding. There is a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. So I wonder if people today feel that
What does
way.
that mean?
Yeah,
What it
on Monday
means
the
is-
world died, and then tomorrow the world
Yes.
is going to be reborn.
Exactly.
Oh, so does that mean though? That doesn't mean anything really.
No, it means
No,
a
it
lot.
does. It means a lot.
Okay,
Okay,
here's
well,
what
I'm
it means.
asking you what.
I'll break it down.
For
Here's
instance, the
here's what it
sun-
means.
Okay, you go.
Okay, so the sun is going to be showing up a lot more often now, gradually, until it reaches the zenith of showing up the most often, which is going to be during the summertime, or the spring equinox, rather. And when that happens, plants grow, you know, you can
Yeah,
farm
life
things.
Is
Yeah,
back.
Oh,
exactly.
You know, on Monday.
sorry.
the sun
Sometimes
went to the
it's
lowest
hard to
point.
know. So
On
sometimes
Monday,
it's hard
the
to
sun
know.
went to the lowest point. It's going to be all year.
Yeah. Eventually the days will get longer.
It remains in that position in terms of its angle for 3 days, and then tomorrow or today it will rise again, and then it's the birth of the next year, basically.
Yeah.
And the other
sometimes,
interpretation, yeah.
it's
If
hard
you're
to
obviously,
know.
you know, if you're an urbanite and you're separated from nature to such an extent,
Yeah, exactly. Because outside
then,
in New York right
yeah,
now
we're
and
gonna
outside,
die.
it is
So,
really not Christmassy. It's really like simultaneously wet and dry. You know, like it's just not very nice looking out. But there's some parts of the world where you have Christmas there, and it's it's really really gorgeous there.
Yeah, look, in northern European places, the winter
Yeah.
means death, and you have to prepare for it. If you live in if you live in, I don't know, somewhere where it's hot all year round, it's not going to be such a big deal. But
Definitely.
And I think a similar thing with Christmas lights as well. It's like you're trying to illuminate, like with that same force, you know, of the sun. You're trying to illuminate as much as possible during the nighttime so it doesn't seem so bad. But when the same thing is done, I don't know, like in South Carolina or whatever, it just isn't the same. You know, I think we need that gloom and doom of the winter cold.
Dude,
and
maybe
then
that's
illuminate
why
that.
this is a good year because everyone's got Christmas lights out because they had nothing else to do.
Exactly.
No one in my neighborhood has any Christmas lights or decorations even.
Well, sorry you live in a shitty neighborhood. Everyone in my neighborhood has minions everywhere, so.
Minions.
Oh, across the road, our neighbors have that snowman from Frozen, just like a giant. Let's see if I can take a photo of that.
His name's Olaf.
Olaf, yeah. In fact, maybe I can bring the camera with me upstairs and show Olaf to you, the one that's facing the window. It's just like a giant stuffed Olaf with balls inside of him, just rotating, or I don't know what the fuck is going on, but it's a great statue. I mean, you know what I mean. But yeah, when it comes to growth, spiritual growth, I think I don't know, again, what I mentioned in the other podcast regarding Christmas is the astrological interpretation of it, like Disco Orpheus was also mentioning. That may also have something to do with Jesus. If we're talking about the Son of God, well, what about the Son, the Son of God?
The sun archetype.
Yeah, look, the sun dies and then is resurrected 3 days later. So the sun dies on the 21st, and Jesus dies, you know, in 3 days. The sun 3 days later is resurrected, and then the sun is reborn. You know, that it's pagan and Christian at the same time. Does that make sense?
That's
Yeah,
Yeah, no, definitely.
but I'm still
Right.
not
There's a lot of,
exactly sure.
That's the theological, whatever, like reason. Or
And in
interpretation.
European depictions of Christ, there's a lot of sun imagery.
Yeah, Yeah, I know that. Yeah, there is. Because I think, well, it means the same thing. These pagan sort of understandings of the cycles of each year were so ingrained into the inhabitants of Europe's, these people's like sort of blood and day-to-day and yearly life, that the resemblance was just sort of repurposed by the Vatican and these sorts of larger, almost like corporate bodies, because they couldn't get rid of, if when the sun goes down on the 21st, everything literally dies, and your life is basically over if you haven't prepared for that. We're talking like 500, 1,000 years ago, before most Europeans had been Christianized. And so that was so ingrained into their sort of their life and their routine that the Vatican couldn't just like create some sort of Christian holiday and then give it to them and they'll accept it. It's highly unlikely that Jesus was born on the 25th of December. Shepherds tending to their flocks in winter. It doesn't happen. It's not realistic. It was most likely it was born in September or something like that. But it does fit perfectly with the sun dying for 3 days and then being reborn. I don't know. I'm chatting a
Why
bit.
do the Orthodox?
I think
Why do the Orthodox celebrate on January 6th, though?
Now, why do the Orthodox celebrate it during that time? And I did go to a Russian Orthodox school, St. Sergius Academy, back when I was 5 years old. I used to take the subway, like at 5 a.m. What?
I thought you were Jewish, though.
Well, it doesn't matter, honestly. I went everywhere. I went to a Catholic school. In fact, the only school I didn't go to was a synagogue. But I went to a Russian Orthodox school. I went to a Catholic school. Then I went to acting school. And while I was in acting school, I also went to ballet school in 2003.
You went to ballet school, though.
I did some ballet. And the teacher forced me to do a split. He was one of those old school Soviet teachers, who used to, slap girls' butts and stuff like that, And but he was he was a good guy. Like, he was old school Soviet. You're gonna do the splits right now. I don't care if it's gonna break your fucking legs. And I did it, and my legs are fine. And, sometimes it does take just this grit, like, to get something out of you. Like, I don't want to be one of those soft millennials, like, oh my God, my feelings. No, he's going to push you down and make you do those fucking splits, and you're going to like it. And I did end up liking it. So, anyway.
I'm just saying, if a man, forced me to do this, attempted to force me to do the split.
Can't believe you're sodomized like that.
Yeah. I wouldn't really tolerate that sort of.
Lev, did you do it once and then never again?
No, I actually did splits a lot of times. That was the only thing I was good at. I was good at doing.
It all comes out.
Did you do any
wait. Let's just make sure that we have the same definition of the splits.
Okay,
maybe he told you were doing something called the splits.
The splits.
Lev,
yes,
do the splits right now.
Yes.
Wait,
what I learned to do afterwards was I learned to put my legs over my head, and I was so good at doing that when we had our play of Romeo and Juliet, where I played Capulet, I actually put my legs over my head. And let's see, I'll send you that video afterwards. I actually posted it on Twitter a while back, so maybe I can even play it here in the BTR chat. But anyway, the ballet, it was a good experience. The acting school was a good experience. I went to acting school with Alex Gray's daughter, Xena Gray, and that's how I found out about Alex Gray and his crazy psychedelic art. And in general, it was a great experience. It happened right at September 11th. So there was like a pre-September 11th Lev and a post-September 11th Lev. Pre-September 11th Lev, I was in a play called Fairy Tale where I played Sneezy the Dwarf. We were all on our knees the whole time. There was this crazy guy named Peter who was, he played the bailiff, and he always used to make sexual jokes. And I was like 12 or 13. I think it was 13 or 12. I don't know. And he used to do like these sexual jokes, and then as like a comeback, I told him, well, like if you keep doing that, I could call the police. And then he spread his legs and he pointed down and he said, well, the phone is right here. Here's the phone. So that was great. I really enjoyed going to acting school and participating in these off-Broadway plays. It was
it's really worked out for you.
Oh no, it definitely has. I mean, it was definitely a New York experience. You're not gonna get an experience like that living
Yeah, I
anywhere
was about
else.
to say that combined with like a Catholic school and an Orthodox school, that is very, very New York.
Yeah, well, that Orthodox school, it shouldn't have even existed. Like, they ran out of money, yet they still kept operating for some reason. So I was in that school in the very last year that it was operational. And it was operating, I believe, from like the 50s or something. Like, it was all the people who fled the Soviet Union who were Russian Orthodox. They started their own school in Manhattan. So that was the school. And they got like money from celebrities and things like that. But eventually it just tittered out, I guess. The funds stopped coming. We went on vacation to the Intrepid, and I really wanted to fucking pee. So I never got to enjoy being on that battleship because all I kept thinking about was where's the bathroom? There is no bathroom here. What the fuck am I gonna do? So that was the other great experience. And then I will leave this conversation about my childhood for a more private, not a private stream, but I'm gonna start another stream. I'll tell you a little bit more about it, where it's just going to be like me and I'm going to have a few guests in. But anyway, I'm not leaving BTR. BTR is here to stay. Nothing's happening with BTR, but I just want to do my own thing as well, and let's see how that works out as well. So attacking from multiple points. Anyway, the second experience was a touch tunnel, which does not exist anymore, but it was a great fucking tunnel. So, do you know what the touch tunnel is?
I'm assuming it's a tunnel filled with like felt so that you can feel in like one of those like children's museums.
Yes. Well, it was dark.
I might have gone to that too. I might have also been in a touch tunnel. It's like dark but not too
Sounds
dark.
creepy.
That's a fire hazard.
Touch tunnel.
Yeah, well, it's not around anymore. I think it was at the Liberty Science Center.
Yeah, no, I think I went to that one also because I remember being a really little kid. Like you're not allowed to like keep your suits in there, right? Or just take off your suits before you go to the touch tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. I remember the touch tunnel.
Well, another thing, big government ended up getting rid of. I don't think it would be legal now to have a tunnel like that.
Was it because it was a fire like a potential fire hazard?
Yeah, because you don't know how long you'd get stuck in there.
Yeah, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
You think kids
Anybody trying to get my kids in a touch tunnel, I'm gonna kill them. For sure.
Yeah. Sounds like a pederast dream.
Yeah, the touch tunnel.
That is bringing out acts.
Bad touch tunnel. That's what we should have called this episode. Bad touch tunnel. So
Bad touch tunnel.
Anyways, when I was 10, my teachers switched up the Christmas play for a reenactment of the Oslo Agreement with the Palestine and Israel. So all the kids were dressed up as Arafat and all the other criminals. And our parents were like, oh, this is so sacred and holy, like way more than there would ever be for anything like going to church. So yeah, tells you where we're going.
Well, the only equivalent that we had in the Catholic school, we had like the saints thing for Halloween, when you dress up as the saints. Yeah. But you guys all had Santa Claus, right? Like in your school, like the priest dressing up as Santa?
Yeah. I was dressed up as this cat called Terje Rød Larsen. He's a UN ambassador, peace negotiator type. Also a frequent guest on Epstein Island. So at 10 years old, I was playing him for Christmas.
You were playing a UN ambassador? Is that what you say?
Did you have to research how exactly he's supposed to act? Did you read his biography, or was it just put on the suit and don't ask questions? Martin, can you hear us?
Yeah, he seems to have lost it.
Well, that's okay. We're going to get him back. So, anyway, as far as the Catholic school goes, we had the priests dress up as Santa. The priests, they didn't molest us. Everything was fine. But as far as Christmas today goes, though, I mean, especially now with the lockdown, Christmas is pretty much canceled in England. I don't know how exactly it's going in New York for other kids. Like, it must kind of suck. Although I guess they just play video games now, so it doesn't even matter. Like, is Christmas as important to kids in general now? Like, with all the entertainment that they could get.
No. No,
No,
I feel like every year holidays get more and more, like less and less important to like kids and shit. And they like,
Yeah.
sorry.
What the fuck was that? Okay, we're gonna.
I think holidays are lame.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm
I think
probably the youngest person here. I'm only 17, but
Wait, didn't you say you were in the military?
I lied. Yeah, I'm not in the fucking military.
There we go. I knew it. I fucking knew it. See, I was
When
gonna
did I
get like.
say I was in the military? Wait, I also lied. I'm not 17. I mean, like,
So-
I am a soldier though.
get this guy out of here.
No, it's okay.
Yeah,
He's gonna be our resident liar. He's gonna be like our sin chicken. He's gonna be our sin
That's
chicken
why I was in
for
the
liars.
military.
So I have to
I was
ask you,
considering
Picasso,
joining the
what kind of soldier are
military
you?
at one point. What kind of soldier? I'm just
Yeah,
like
you
a
said you're
like
kind of soldier.
soldier of
soldier,
fortune.
you know? Like I'm a soldier in these
What's up, boy?
and on Discord and
Oh,
Twitter,
okay.
you know? Like I just be like fighting a war. Like obviously it's a bit esoteric.
He's a soldier in the vehicle.
So you're a psi warrior, in other words. You're a psyop
Psy?
soldier.
Like camp bot? No. A psyop for I mean like maybe. I'm just like I'm just like killing shit.
No, like in the Blue Oyster
Yeah,
Cult sense, a veteran of the Psychic Wars.
Psychic wars? I don't
Yeah, Blue Oyster
I'm
Cult.
a veteran? No, I'm an active participant. Like I mean I'm not retired yet. I'm just like out here, you know?
I
Like,
gotcha.
We out here.
I got.
But like I mean but I'm always like preparing for like a real war, you know, just like real urban warfare.
Well, yeah,
shit.
we should always be doing that at every moment. Yeah.
No,
Well,
not
definitely
every moment.
legit.
You need to get yourself. You need to give
Wait,
yourself.
definitely legit's here?
Definitely legit is here.
Bro, this
I
is
want to make sure Definitely Legit has a chance to speak just because his internet is really crapalicious right now. So
Yeah,
let's
his
see.
internet fucking
He has more
sucks.
followers on Twitter than me, and that's why you rudely interrupt me in the middle of
Exactly.
my point. Goodbye.
I want to
Pretty
get
much.
to
It's all
Definitely
about
Legit.
clout, buddy.
It is all about clout. So Definitely Legit, how are you, buddy?
Pretty good. I just dropped in to say Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas to you.
And somebody asked about why Orthodox Christmas was in January. It has to do with a pre-Christian pagan festival called Kalada, which is pretty much, well, kind of what they did with the Roman Saturnalia and Yuletide and whatever.
And there
Just
is
co-opted
also
with Christian stuff.
there is also Giorgiani's take on a lot of Christian qualities being derived from the cult of Mithraism. But I don't know. I mean, it's always a touchy subject when it comes to people, the belief that they have in Christianity. And, like on BTR, we have many wonderful Christians, including Gio, of course. Gio is probably the best fucking Christian of them all. But, like as far as somebody who actually embodies Jesus as, you know what I mean? Like, Gio is a fucking saint. There are not that many people out there in the world like him.
Yeah.
But when I have to be...
Cross.
Where's Gio right
Yes,
now?
he is coming. I mean, he's stuck, but he's
Of course
going
he
to
is.
be. Oh, God damn it! I knew as soon as I said fucking. Okay. Anyway, Gio is. God fucking damn it. Gio is coming, but when it comes to Christianity, though, even though I went to the Orthodox school, Catholic school, I don't know. Like, I don't really know what the fuck happened back then. A lot of these things seem to coincide with astrological things and other mystery cults. So as far as the actual figure of the Jesus who was around that time, I'm skeptical right now, but I don't know. Like, I am open to being to being shown the light. Like, Definitely Legit. What do you think?
I mean, it's kind of a documented thing that every single European Christianity is European mysticism with a little bit of veneer of Jesus on top. And why that is because when the monks went out and they spread the faith, they had to adapt it to the local customs of the people. Otherwise, the whatever barbarians would be like, no, I'm not interested. And it actually got so extreme that there's a pretty interesting story with a monk who went to a Germanic tribe. And he was like, how do I talk to these people? How do I get them to accept Jesus? And so he started to look at their culture and at their myths, and he thought, okay, we can combine Ragnarok and the Book of Revelation. And so he wrote something called there's several names for it. I think it's called Muspili or something like that. But it was an epic poem. It was a saga written about the end of times, and they combined the imagery of Norse paganism and the Ragnarok with Christian symbols. So it has a pretty interesting scene where Jesus and Satan duke it out, and Jesus is wielding a spear, which is a pretty interesting thing because Odin's spear. So and that's something that happened all over the place. And you look at a lot of other traditions, and Easter, for example. Easter is a pagan festival, down to the name. Easter comes from Ishtar, which is a goddess of fertility.
Yes,
and
thus the bunny rabbit.
Yeah, and like that kind of goes around. And the idea is that they're
Ostara.
Go on.
Is Ishtar the same thing as Ostara? I think it's called.
Yeah, I was about to ask about that.
I am not sure.
There is also
Ostara is like a Slavic fertility god. So
yes, probably. I just like listening to the name Ostara, Easter, Ishtar. It's all the same because all of the European faiths come from one sort of central faith, anyways.
There is also a take, by the way, about the Book of Esther. It wasn't Esther, it was Ishtar, and it was a code name. But anyway, go on. Definitely legit.
Oh, but that's kind of the point. And you look at even, I guess, to bring it back to Slavic paganism, there's something called there's a festival called Ivan Kupala, and that's
isn't that where they all strip naked and fuck each other?
No, it's the one where they jump into cold water and then run into the woods. Well, yeah, you're right. It is a fertility festival, but the actual pagan name is Kupala, and they just added Ivan, which is John, the Christian name, and they made it about a saint. And you'll find a lot of the saints in Christianity are actually not, saints. They're just aspects of local gods and divinities.
And Halloween has a very similar origin to all this too.
Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that.
All seem to have
All Hallows Eve.
But then
they all seem to have applicable corresponding. I don't know what the word is, but for instance, take Easter, and it's an Easter egg hunt, and that sort of relates to the fact that they all have a pagan corresponding, pagan meaning farmer, like of the land. So an Easter egg hunt is basically teaching your children to go and collect eggs, as they would do sort of every day when you have chickens. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
so
that's
there's these daily applicable comparisons, I guess.
That was a very common aspect of most pagan faiths and animism and whatnot. Our idea of religion being a separate sort of, how do I put this? I don't want to say institution, but a lot of people have this idea of like a secular life and a religious life, or like a religious thing, like as a separate concept. When as the ancients had religion and everyday life so intertwined that there was no real separation for it. Yeah. So like the idea of the Roman state religion and Roman spirituality are two very different things, and
hey,
you'll have a lot of it sort of interwoven. Oh, Gio. Oh, he's gone.
Well, it's like
there he is.
Well, it's like, what else were you gonna do? Because they didn't have a lot of other creature comforts. So either you tilled the land, and then what? So of course everything did become very structured within these various pagan archetypes, and that occupied people's minds for a long time. And like you said, same thing after Christianity. But what I want to get to here, and I think
bullshit, love.
Well, it's actually great.
Bullshit.
It's great that you're here. It's because I want to get to the heartwood. By heartwood, you know what heartwood is? It's like when you take away the bark from the tree.
Doing?
Great. We are doing great. I'm doing great, at least.
Sorry,
Merry Christmas, Gio.
Too.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
God bless. Sorry, I just came from my grandmother's place because it's gonna, this fucking tomorrow we go into lockdown, which I don't even know what the point is at this. I don't know. I'm just put that picture of.
You're already immune.
Dr. Manhattan. Yeah, I'm already immune, so I don't care. No, put that picture of Dr. Manhattan. I'm tired of these people. I'm tired of the tangle of their lives. No, it's stupid. I get the logic of because people like in Toronto, they'll lock, because that's where it's coming from. It's Toronto. So
Toronto the good, more like Toronto the bad.
Toronto things I can't say that'll get me banned.
Exactly.
No, but yeah, so they come down here to Niagara, and they'll go to Clifton Hill, and they'll up the numbers here. So I get the logic, but it's stupid. I think lockdowns are bullshit. Anyway, sorry, what were you gonna say, Lev?
So if we were to take all the pagan stuff, all the things that we've taught, like I don't know how much of this you've listened to so far.
A little bit.
Yes. So if we were to take out all the things that we can say, okay, all these things were attributed to Jesus's life, but these are actually like all pagan things. If we take all of them away, what are we left with that we can say, like, this is, like, without all the other stuff, this is Jesus?
You also have to ask Gio, when do you celebrate Christmas? Do you celebrate on January 6th or December 25th?
December 25th. I'm Catholic, boy. So
okay.
Yeah. No, yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, that's Catholicism's a national religion in Italy. So there you go. It's in my blood.
Could I say, from someone who don't I don't know an awful lot about Christianity, apart from the fact I have been baptized, of course, because everyone in England back in the day in the 90s when you were born is baptized. But my understanding of who Jesus is and what Christians should do, and what I do is a quasi, I don't know, weird pagan Christian kind of vibe that I just, whatever feels comfortable for me, is that you, instead of worshipping him, you have to follow him, and you have to emulate his sort of path, and you carry your cross basically. Like, you can't skimp out on your duties just because you worship Christ.
Well, you should be essentially living the Via Dolorosa.
I don't know what that is.
The Via Dolorosa it means way of sorrow. It's where Jesus walked as he was holding his cross.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's these duties that are ours to take up, that we don't have to do them, but if you don't do them, then you're not navigating.
You should always be putting 110% effort into everything, at least everything that you care about. And I think that's something that goes beyond Christianity or paganism.
I think, like,
you can't do 100% all the time. That's impossible. That's crazy, dude.
But that's the absurdism. That's
if it's something you're passionate about, yeah, you should do 110% all the time.
All right, but like, look, if you're an athlete or if you're in business or if you're anything like that, you understand there's lulls. So you rest, then you sprint, or you go steady state if that works for you.
Yeah, you got to pace yourself.
If you put these unrealistic pressure on yourself, this kind of super high expectations,
humility is also another attribute. But no, to answer Lev's question, I think the problem with a lot of the interpretation of where Christianity began and where paganism ended, or where there's a crossover, is that there's a lot of crossover thrash. No, the problem I think is, and this again is the problem with, like, when the Zeitgeist movie came out, or movies, where there's similar attributes because there are universal archetypal and iconotypal forms, but there are fundamental breaks in the life and divinity of Christ and a lot of these other mythological figures in the pagan world. For example, sacrifice is an ever-present theme, but it's a different type of self-sacrifice. Is the sacrifice that Jesus committed to the world, whereas there isn't, there isn't as much. It's there, it's hidden some pagan virtues, but there's a difference in the character of the Christian worldview that was instilled by Christ, as opposed to a lot of, mono-pagan sort of rituals and beliefs. And so I feel that you could say that, yeah, Set has a certain, shares this characteristic with Jesus, another...
Or Zarathustra.
Zarathustra. Yeah, but the Zarathustra story is, of course, it's different than what is at the heart of Christianity. So, there is similarities. Obviously, there's always going to be similarities.
It seems pretty stringent. Like, you're supposed to not only do good deeds, but you're also supposed to have good thoughts. You know, like you're supposed to control your mind to such an extent, which I don't know. Would you say that Christianity also has a similar, like, good thoughts embedded within it?
Well, yeah, but again, that's a hot debate as well, because there's intention. As a Catholic, I believe in faith and good works. So it's, I mean, I'm just basing off of like Catholicism and Orthodoxy, because Protestantism, I mean, I hate to say it, you know. So I think, yeah, there is in Christianity, there is, of course, the same emphasis on not just good thoughts, but thoughts that lead to flourishing. But it's different than a lot of it's different than, say, like Zen Buddhism or Chan Buddhism or Hinduism, Vedanta. It's different. It's a totally different way of approaching it than a meditative system. Now, there are forms of meditation in more esoteric forms of Christianity, but it's more of the there's much more of an emphasis on more of the, you know, attuning your thoughts to Christ. It's different than, you know, a lot of these other systems you find in the Far East or in the pagan past. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you want left. My brain is scrambling right now.
No. This
I
is
feel
perfect.
I don't just because here's the thing. I'm not an expert in any. Like there's a lot of people. I'm not an expert in.
Well, we're gonna
theology,
have
obviously. But.
We're gonna have later on Owen Cyclops, and it will be interesting for you and Owen to talk about this in more detail, because these are questions that I've had for a long time when it comes to just the nature of being. I could see, like, when Buddhism is like, all right, screw all this, I'm just going to not exist anymore. But I'm not gonna not exist either. So I'm not gonna exist.
Exactly, that's annihilationism, Lev. That's an extreme.
Well, I don't
Giorgiani would say that is another folly.
but then I had a conversation with Aryan Cowboy, the great Aryan Cowboy. I hope he comes back soon, where he talks about, you know, there being higher states, like higher positive states, but within those positive states there are also negatives, and within negatives there are positives. And I could see how something like that, though, to a point that Owen was making on the thread of his, that would lead, let's say, some people who do too many mushrooms to say, like, oh, everything's relative, man, and it does kind of abandon a certain duty that they would have otherwise had to making the lives of the people around them in their community better. Maybe, I don't know.
Because there's a lot of people who are spiritually voids, essentially, and they only stick to the dogma, and that's like one thing that's pretty annoying in that sense. Is, like you said, right? It's not about good deeds; it's also about good thoughts. And then you said that it's like the control of your mind to have these good thoughts, but it's not about control. It's about just having good thoughts. Like, you just be happy, like vibe. And that's something that a lot of people seem to misinterpret, and
they're not chillcore. They're not.
Yeah,
they're
you
not
can't
perked up.
force. It's not about forcing.
yeah,
good.
that's the thing. Like when you try to force it, it's not genuine. So what's the point? It'll just.
But
make
it's
your
also
cortisol
about
go up.
what do you choose to focus on. So if there are, like, different thoughts that you would have throughout the day, wouldn't the job of the ego to be like a yes or no button as far as what do you allow to consume you? Because there could be 1,000 things that you could think about at any given time. You know, somebody wrongs you, you think about revenge, whatever, like, but at the same time, wouldn't that also be a kind of exercise where you would say, you know what, I'm going to focus on the good, not going to focus on the bad, and eventually it builds up and you do start to become a different human being the more that goes on?
Well, I think that a lot of negative emotions like anger or lust are actually a good thing, because you can take it and you can channel into something positive. You know, I think that what we should do is we should take, like, we shouldn't be afraid of our most negative, awful emotions. We should actually meet them head on and turn them into something good. You know, we shouldn't just ignore them and forget or pretend that they don't exist.
It's part of life.
Yeah, it's part of life, but also because there's a lot of energy there, and you can use that energy for something really great. You know, which is also the good thing, especially anger. Like, there's so many very productive ways to use anger, and anger is there for a reason. When you're angry, it's because, like, something's off. And things can be off for different reasons. Maybe like the other guy was in the right and you were being too sensitive. Maybe the other guy really wronged you and you need to do something to set it right. Or maybe no one was in the right. Maybe it's out of your control. But either way, you can't just sit on it. You have to pursue it and come to a solution. Maybe that means you growing as a person and being the better man. Maybe that means you being brave and standing up to whoever pissed you off, or maybe that means accepting it and becoming stronger for that. Like in all three scenarios, you're coming out better from it.
But it's still not something that you are just letting run wild, like like that in Hinduism, or in the what was it, the Bhagavad Gita. They had that example with you being in this carriage with these wild horses, and you have to make sure that you steer the wild horses in the right direction, or else they're gonna go off and chase squirrels or whatever. I don't know what horses like to chase.
I think is that you should it should be a nice compromise. It should be like controlled chaos, kind of like the berserker of Viking history, who he's like a landmine. You set him in front of the enemy, and then you let him go off, and then he rampages. But he rampages against people he should rampage against. It should be like you should like put yourself in a room and say, okay, I'm gonna go sicko mode on what I need to go sicko mode on. Like for me, that's art, because I draw a lot of negative things. I draw a lot of violence. I draw a lot of things that make me angry. But I think it's positive. I think that it's a very, very positive outlet. Music too. I love noise music. I love really, kind of destructive. Oh, look at that.
Look at this guy. I have had this guy since 1999, and look, he still does the sound. Watch this.
You know what? I have one of those, but for Halloween.
I was born in 1999.
Holy
you were
shit.
Born in 1999?
Yeah.
Oh my god. How old are you now? 20?
21.
Oh, 21. Oh my god. I remember 1999. I was like 8 years old. Holy shit. Speaking of anger, have you seen Black? No, I'm not even gonna talk.
No, I think they're funny looking. I like them. I think they're funny looking. Well, no, but I do want to pull something up. I want actually about that.
I'm surprised it took that long.
Very good.
There's a really good fucking.
Me and Matthew are going to do a podcast style talks on it, so don't worry about it. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be spicy. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I just want to hear everyone's. I'm curious to hear. I saw this one where they're already freaking out after a few days that they're saying that it's their meme and other people are stealing their meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. If you've seen my thread on Twitter, you know what I'm talking about.
That was the take.
I've seen it, but I want to quote someone.
It's a decentralized anonymous meme, and now someone has claimed a bastardized version of it. And it's just
tagging "Know Your Meme" in it and shit.
Wait, actually, I know. I got the best comment for this Wojak thing. Please stand by.
Oh.
Hyperwave says that normal people have had access to Bojacks for about a week, and the shit they produced is more alarming than what the incels made. Lol.
Oh, you gotta send that in the chat, dude. Send that tweet. Oh my god.
But how many of those people who were making like the ones with the Chinese Bojacks, are those the OG 4chan people as opposed to the normies?
Probably. Like it's a counter assault. Yeah. Probably. Because there's always been racial tension.
I just hate the application. I think they're actually really well drawn. I like the way they look. Because I think they're funny. I think all Wojacks are funny.
The fact that they've made them overly pretty.
Yeah. Because to me they're not pretty. To me they're pretty hideous. That's what's so funny.
That was just fodder for 4chan to make edits of ugly.
Here, Lev, I posted the peak Wojak in the BTR.
Oh fuck yeah! If you saw my fleet, I'm not even gonna say it. I think I know historically it's not accurate, but we need Hotep Sophia on to see that on a spiritual level, buck breaking is real, because they have to feminize the black male. And it's just my God.
Well, think of all the movies that came out like in the 2000s where black men were wearing.
Chappelle talked about that. Dave Chappelle said that he was offered a movie role and they told him to put on a dress. And he said, "No, I'm noticing a pattern here. I'm noticing a trend here." And then he got blacklisted for a short while before making his comeback. Must have been the mid 2000s.
I think it was Perfume Nationalist. Yeah, he said like all black men in films now. This is what Jack said. Is like basically Donald Glover. Like that's what they want the model of, like this like.
You remember that film White Chicks? Everything's that.
Yeah. But when it comes to Donald Glover, I remember seeing him live when he was doing this thing called Mystery Team. But even before that, he was in Derek Comedy. He did this video called Bro Rape. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Oh my god.
They were they had like the portable Game Cubes and the what was it? Their favorite band was, well, they said the Fish Farewell Tour was an all-you-can-rape buffet. But I'm not too familiar with Fish. Like, is Fish a very bro type of a band?
Maybe, but is the bro rape connected at all to Lindsay Elsa's rape rap?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah,
Wait,
no.
was she the nostalgia chick, or am I
Yeah,
thinking
nostalgic
something else?
chick made a rape rap. It was a rap about raping, and it's like she tried to bury it in under history, but it's still on YouTube. So go find it while you can. It's a gem.
Wow.
It's
All right,
funny.
folks. Sorry, I just want to interrupt real quick because I'm
Yeah,
going to
go
head
ahead.
out. And Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Definitely legit. We got to do the definitely legit feature film, like an ABC Family flick. I think that's
Oh,
going to be
God.
great. Where we
It's
have an
gonna be
actual...
like, Sorry, go on.
Yeah. Well, it'll, like I wrote on Twitter before, it'll be an actual like collie, lassie dog. You will voice it, and you are gonna infiltrate like a Silicon Valley family home, and you'll be like, indoctrinating the kids there and stuff like that. I think it'll be fun.
I thought it'd be more like the incel movie, but that's fine.
Oh, we'll get Charles and Viddy on this, and never mind. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, we got Andrew Meyer. Andrew,
Don't
come
get
in
Alex
here. Come
Moyer
join.
to direct it. That's the only thing.
Oh God. I don't know. I really think that that's such a cursed movie. But
it is for sure.
Andrew, I'm gonna send you a link. Come in here. Come into the Christmas chat. We're gonna talk about Jesus and the Kabbalah. I think it'll be cool.
All right. Well, you guys have a good one. I'll head out and
Take care.
love you guys.
Merry Christmas.
Definitely legit.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Oh man, definitely legit. He's great. And I do want to make this film because I think it'll be really fun to see the faces on people who have no idea what definitely legit is, and just to see like a family movie with this friendly looking dog, like live action family movie with this dog, but it's a subversive dog, and that I think that would be like the equivalent of what they used to do in Fight Club, where they used to have like you remember in Fight Club they used to take like the pornos and put them in between.
Yeah, they
family
put
movies.
like 1 second so it'd be subliminal, and people weren't quite sure if it was there, if it was just their mind, but
Exactly.
it was there.
Just enough to make people doubt.
Yeah.
So this would be more of like a neo-reactionary version of that. So taking like a more woke theme, but then applying other reactive elements from the dog within that, and that would be definitely legit. So that's coming. That's coming. Is gonna come along. Anyway, we have some comments over here. We have Andrew Meyer who said, Lev is getting cold for Christmas. Andrew Meyer, please come in here. I'll send you a link. We have Ding Dong who says, humble yourself before the absolute Tao, etc., and let it flow through you. Then you will naturally flow and won't be distracted by spontaneous emotions. That's a good advice.
That's good.
Honestly, I think a lot of us are handling it pretty well. I don't know as far as regular people, though, who were not as used to being as extremely online as us.
It still sucks, though, not having, like, going to a family on Christmas.
It really does, yeah. It's definitely doing my
Guys, I'm back. It's been a fucking while, but I have just been working my ass off today. It's been a very busy day for me. Sorry I haven't talked so much. I've been running errands all throughout the house.
Your bones are all tired.
Oh geez, my bones are rattling right now. It's rough. I'm cleaning recycling cans. I'm doing the dishes. I'm picking up clothes. It's a lot of preparation that needs to be done in this household before we're ready to have Christmas dinner.
How's the webcam?
Oh, the webcam. You know what? You'd really disappointed because I'm about to tell you some terrible news. OBS for some reason has denied my my virtual cam and it refuses to work. I know.
Oh my God,
Listen,
wow.
I'm telling you, I've got a webcam from 2004. It doesn't really work like an actual webcam. I have to get the camera app and use that, and then I have to stream the image of the camera through OBS, and then use a virtual cam software to like stream the camera. It's a whole rigmarole. It really is a lot of steps I have to do to even get this thing to work.
What if you just use your phone? Would that work?
You know what? I see the camera. The thing about the camera is that it's so bad. It would be unable for me to dox myself because you can barely make out a picture.
Oh,
You know,
I see.
so I think the camera would be too high quality, or at least a quality
You
I'm
could
not
just-
comfortable with
you could-
going.
You could smudge it.
I think I should
don't
just
know.
like put some grease on it, perhaps.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, I do have this mask and all, but I really was looking forward to getting this shitty camera to work, and strangely enough, it has. And I used it last night, but I guess it's just not. It doesn't want to work with me tonight. I've reinstalled OBS backwards and forwards, and it still refuses to work. So I'm
Wait,
sorry.
do you
everyone.
have the capture of the camera on your computer right now? It's just
Yeah,
not
yeah,
going... What if you do this? What if you take your cell phone and just point it to the screen? So that'll be even more. Oh,
You know,
well,
I
then it's
wonder.
gonna- But then it's
I
gonna
feel
bother
like
my God.
it would. I've got like filters on the other one. I really want you guys to see this. I really could be cool, but you know what? I guess better luck next time. I suppose I'll keep workshopping,
I want to see it.
but I'll give it a shot, guys. I'll keep reinstalling it, uninstalling, because I really want to show you guys the skeleton mask and my skeleton gloves and all the filters and goofy little
And is it
gifs
red?
and stuff. Oh, you better believe it's red.
Oh God!
You bet your bottom dollar that
would be
thing is red.
That would be a real Christmas present.
And I want to give you that present. I want to give the stream that present, and I'm
Did
trying my
anybody
hardest.
here get presents for Christmas like you used to?
I think
got
I'm getting a
myself presents.
sweatshirt.
Yeah, I'm getting.
I get
presents.
I get cologne from my aunt. That's
Oh, that's sweet. I think I'm getting a sweatshirt.
Dude, I
bought
love
myself,
giving Christmas presents.
Hey, I sent the Nya I sent Nya and Bane a letter though.
Thank you very
I
much.
sent them a
Epic.
letter.
Oh yeah, my
I'm,
friends
I
gave me some
literally
presents.
just finished writing Scode's letter and I'm sending it out.
I am gonna love it. I think I sent you guys a really great letter. I think you guys are gonna love that. I wish I could have done more though. I wish I could have sent more.
I'll show my
Well-
present in the New Year's stream. It's like this glass thing my friend gave me. It's like the Tree of Life thing.
Cool.
My other friend bought me a head strap for my painting videos because it's too much of a hassle to have the pole, like the camera boon, like in the middle of my crotch while I'm trying to paint over it. It's not happening.
Well,
So I can
speaking
Frank
of
Castle
painting,
and have my insulin pump on my head right there. So,
but by the way,
anyways,
speaking of painting,
Next week-
patreon.com/break the rules. Real quick, I just want to say, Gio, you are offering, well, before we say $50 patrons, $20 patrons are going to get my father's beautiful magnets. You know the drill. Look how beautiful they are. And for $30, you are going to get Giovanni Penichetti's amazing Japanese woodblock style prints from the TFW No GF series. And for $50, you are going to get a custom magnet. And on top of that, you are going to get what, Gio?
well, all the other tiers. So you'll get a print, 2 magnets with one custom, one already made, and you will get a painting it's about the same size as the woodcuts, but from these Bob Ross acrylic painting sketches that I do, that I pump out quite frequently. So you'll get one of those as well. And yeah, a random one, of course, but I'll pick it. It's going to be nice. Depending on the season, it'll be seasonal too. So if you subscribe in the winter, I'll give you a winter one. If you subscribe in the spring, I'll give you a more of a colorful spring happy trees one. So yeah, that's
Nice.
what we're gonna do.
And also, I keep forgetting, all patrons have early access to all the audio versions of these streams. That is the thing that I completely forget to mention, so I'm going to mention it right now. You guys also can go to captivate.fm/break the rules. You can see the link above, and that is the audio versions of our show. We are on iTunes. We are on Spotify. Go there or be square. Get our numbers
And
up.
D-Live,
leave us-
we keep forgetting
And D-Live.
D-Live.
Oh, poor D-Live. We cannot relegate D-Live. D-Live is great. I love the fact that things like that are out there, and they better fucking be out there, because I don't know. I don't know about YouTube with the Biden administration. I don't know, Gio. Do you have any thoughts on what's coming down the waterworks?
I would buy D-Live stocks if they were available for sure.
What's this
Big
thing
and D-Live
about?
stocks.
Yeah, invest in D-Live. I think they only take Bitcoin. What is this thing about copyright on YouTube? It's going to be easier to strike people, or if they don't have your permission or some shit. I don't know. They always try to screw over. I don't know. YouTube has always fought these battles. I don't know what's going to happen with Biden. But I mean, granted, if Trump pulls some Herculean victory, I mean, who knows? But Yeah. So, anyways, I actually have to go right now. But what's gonna happen next week, Lev? We have some exciting shows next week.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So next week we are going to have the great and powerful Charles Carroll of MDE and many other amazing things. The newlywed husband of BTR regular Afina Hayat. So he is coming in. And that is going to be, I will tell you the date right now. I'm just loading a spreadsheet. That'll be on Tuesday, December 29th. And Thursday, December 31st is our New Year's Eve stream. That's happening. And then Tuesday, January 5, Paul Talk is going to be joining us for some Paul Talk. And that's going to be very exciting. I know that he had a bone to pick with you.
I'm going to own him so hard. It's going to be amazing.
And then Thursday, January 7th, we have Alexander Bard and Arash Kolaki, who is a socialist economist. They're going to be talking. Tuesday, January 12th, we're having a cyberpunk day, basically talking about cyberpunk. So anybody who you guys know is into and I'm not even talking about the video game, I'm talking about like the entire genre. If there's anybody you guys know, and maybe yourselves, who are interested in talking about that, just let us know. And then I am looking at other dates over here in the future, what is awaiting us. We are definitely going to be planning a Sonic the Hedgehog stream. We're going to be planning a Pokemon stream, and we're going to have Owen Cyclops on January 28th. This is like way, way, way ahead, but I just want to let you guys know that. And we are also going to have Gino Samuel, of the creator of the Chris Chan documentary. He's going to be joining us later on, I believe, in the very beginning of March. So look out for that. And Gio, your birthday was yesterday, so I just want to wish you again happy birthday to the great Giovanni Pancieri.
Thanks, boys. Anyways, I gotta go eat now with the fam. So I will see you. I will definitely have more time on the New Year's stream, because like with my family, New Year's is just another day. Like that's a bullshit made up holiday in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know, unless there's some significance to it. I think New Year's is just an excuse for, like, I don't know, yuppies to get drunk or something.
Yeah, shouldn't Christmas be New Year's, technically speaking? Because that's when the sun starts coming back up again. So, anyway.
Yeah, and so I'll see you all, boys. So, boys and maybe girl. I'm kidding, Tsunami. I'm kidding. So, I'll see you all.
See ya.
Merry Christmas.
Fuck you.
Enjoy, Gio.
Fuck
So this
that guy.
Come on. Well, now we are going to have Blue Shoe, I believe. He's going to be coming in. Hotep Sophia is going to be coming in. We may have Fat Corp coming in as well. We are going to have to see. And before they come in, I'm going to be keeping track, because I'm not sure how long this is going to be. We have a comment from Ecclesiast Orev. Lev, I'd like to return for the Cyberpunk stream. It shall be done. So I want to turn to you guys and ask you this. I was watching a Justin Murphy video where he was talking about going to Texas. He's moving now from Montana to Austin, and he says how important it is to actually be around people. You know, like I think in New York, I want to do a similar thing. I want to have live BTR events later on as we keep growing, and invite a lot of you guys too. I know Tsuyami and Bane, you guys aren't that far away, so that could be a possibility.
Not at all,
Yeah,
for sure.
A lot closer than you think.
But the other thing that he was Byzantium Archon asks, real FOD or fake FOD? Well, what I'm going to do, and I already told him this, is I'm going to ask him to speak Russian in the beginning so we can make sure he's the real FOD Corp. And that's how I'll know. Either is fine. Maybe. Okay. So when it comes to not just moving to Texas and meeting with all these people, but also starting this new educational system like he's doing, where you have these classes that you sign up for online, and it talks about all these big brain topics, philosophy and things like that. I see that as being the future for college, and I see a lot of colleges as being bullshit, and there's no reason to pay all that tuition money. But he also said something to us when he was on the stream, that the more canceled you become, the more value starts to grow for you, because people like the forbidden fruit aspect. And do you think a similar thing is going to be happening with all of you guys, or all of us, basically? Like, if the censorship starts to ratchet up?
No.
No,
I don't think it's a matter of forbidden fruit, actually. I don't think it's that. I think it's a matter of when you like something, and if you like something, a genre or a type of food or whatever, and you know someone and they say, "Oh, I hate that. That's my least favorite thing in the world." You know for sure that you're going to enjoy it too. So, like, Lev, you're very clear about what this podcast is, what your opinions are on freedom, what your opinions are on the chat, letting people say whatever they want. Like, that right there is great, because it's funny because we talk about trigger warnings and how trigger warnings are bullshit or all that. But that's the best trigger warning there is, because that lets everyone who wants this kind of stuff know that they're welcome, and everyone who doesn't know that they're not welcome. So it's like the perfect filter. So it's not a matter of like being, having an allure. It's a matter of like knowing your audience and knowing who wants to watch you, which is really what I'm all about. Like that's my opinion with comedy. People say we need political correctness or we just need to be sensitive. I think it's the exact opposite. What people need is to know how to read a room. There's certain jokes I've got friends of mine. I can say whatever I want with them, whatever. But like around my mom and my grandma, not the same thing. And a lot of people don't know that. And I think a lot of millennials don't know how to read a room. So that's why they go to a comedy show and they get offended. They're like, oh, I didn't know that was going to be on the table. That no one should ever joke about that ever. But that's not how it works. There's no warning.
Yeah, they live in an artificial room. And it's
exactly. But the other hand, and I'm not saying like we should, I'm not saying censor yourself. I'm not saying all that. But, moms and grandmas, you can't say the same thing to your best friend. But that's not a matter of political correctness. That's just you being socially intelligent. So what we want is people who are socially intelligent. So then I think that's what you're going to get. So I think that's what you're after.
Definitely. And when it comes to doing these streams for 2021, we may get some pushback. We may not. I have no fucking idea. But I think we should just go with the flow. And I really appreciate the fact that we are able to have on the stream people from all over, like we had before, Jessica DeLoach, who says that she would love to come back, and I want to plan a stream, and I really want to get on this stream a lot of people having to do with infrastructure, transportation. So one of the people, for those who don't know who Jessica DeLoach is, I just want to say again, she was the staffer on Pete Buttigieg's campaign, and she was the personal assistant of Pete Buttigieg's husband. So this is someone who is as outside of the extremely online sphere as you can get. But I want to have her on with Alex Forrest. And
she's a federal agent. She's very online. I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, yes, but that's a different kind of online. And in fact, I think it's good. I think it's good to keep keep the spooks closer, so to speak. So I don't think it's a bad thing. If she is a spook, which I don't know, maybe she is, maybe she isn't. Regardless, she's a great person on the stream. She was great with us, and she's very smart. And whether she's an agent or not, I don't know. Maybe she is. Maybe she.
But whether or not she's a spook, when she was on, we could say whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, she was
say
cool.
whatever we pleased, and that was enough,
Yeah. Well, it shows that she's a fucking adult. That's the other thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like she is not somebody who is going to be offended by Zero HP Lovecraft coming in and talking about all the things he likes to talk about there. So we need more people like that. No, I'm serious. We need more FBI people. We need more CIA people. I want to bring in like past CIA agents and generals. I want to bring in people from DARPA. And you know what? Why can't I? Why not?
So why do you want to bring them on? They're just going to lie to you.
It doesn't matter. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter what people like that are going to say, because I think it's generally interesting to have a conversation about these are the things that we see there being a problem with. Like whether they're going to say, oh, we have this technology or we don't, that's besides the point. What I want to do is I want to see, like, regardless of whatever obfuscations are happening, that there are just certain very common sense things that we can all agree on, which is a problem. And whether there are other things going on behind the scenes that I'm not aware of, I don't fucking know. And if they're not going to tell me, then I'm not going to know. But if they are going to agree with us still on some very based common things, like what I was trying to do with like Bohemian Grove that time with
exactly.
You know what I mean, with the I'm not even gonna say your name. The point is that
I think there's a real power though in inviting kind of one of these more mainstream people and like just sharing like them just sharing an opinion, and you're like, you know what, I don't agree with that. Like there's a lot of power in just like standing up and saying like, no, I don't have to believe in everything you say just because you're of this high position, which is also something good about the show because no one's forced to agree with anybody.
But also, I don't even see among like again like somebody like Jessica, I don't see somebody like her having a social justice warrior position at all, like we just said. So
Yeah.
whatever position she has, I think that they are still going to be very very well made. But there are certain things that I think are still gaps. So when Gio was here for an earlier podcast, he was talking about the favelization he anticipates happening. What I mean by that is like, having the poor get poorer, becoming this permanent underclass, and having this technocracy rule over them, like the usual like Alex Jones stuff as far as a potential bad future. Now, in order to get from where we are right now, which isn't the greatest, but again, compared to other states you can be in, not the worst, to that favelization of the United States, there are still a few steps that have to be gone through. And what I want to see when we get people like this on is, can we go through these steps and can we see, like, would it lead to what we're talking about here? And if you don't think it would, then why wouldn't it? And if you think it would, why would it?
Yeah, that would be interesting. You're right.
Because right now, not even Gio, I think, was able to, or nobody really, go through the process and say, this is exactly why we are going to go from this state, which is, COVID lockdown. I mean, we still aren't at the state, I believe, where you are not allowed to go from one state to the other. Like all the stuff that they're talking about, like these, border patrols, things like that on a state basis. I don't know what's happening in New York, but the people who have traveled, they haven't really encountered this. So
yeah,
maybe
I don't
that's
know how it works in the US. In the UK, it's all perception. So I'm in tier 4, which is the highest tier you can be in, and it essentially means that you're not allowed to travel outside of your county, which is the equivalent of a US state, I suppose, when it's minimized. But there's no police on the roads. I do whatever I want. Today I drove my car to a different county because I went to see a friend. But within people's minds, they assume that there are border checks and there are all of this. And none of that's going to happen because the government, at least in the UK, don't have the resources to spend on this like ultra security, jackboots kicking in your door kind of environment. It's not the way it's going to happen. In my opinion, it's going to be the opposite. There's going to be far in the future. There's going to be far less policing than is required, and so it's going to be more chaotic as opposed to more like totalitarian sort of.
So you anticipate that richer areas will have their own like private security force, and poorer areas will just have to get by on being street smart and just watching over one shoulder.
Yeah, the UK will be I don't know, unless things change drastically. For a lot of people in the UK, it'll be a mixture between South Africa and the movie Children of Men. Like it will be kind of like that.
Oof. Man, there are so many different things to.
A lot of people like me who are taking measures to create my immediate environment fortified in various different ways, whether that's through community, food,
learning new skills, learning how to grow food, learning how to defend oneself.
Yeah, exactly. And then you'll be absolutely fine. Yeah. You'll be absolutely fine. But for most people who are incapable of living like a quote unquote natural life, they don't understand where their food source comes from. So they don't understand logistics at all.
They don't understand how to operate without electricity or hot.
And it will suck like for them.
Yeah, no, it will.
But then at the same time, they've made their bed in that respect.
Yeah.
They've been given the chance to think, to have some foresight, especially now. Like most people I speak to, the people I speak to are very much like me because I have created a community around me. But for old friends that I used to have, it was they assume that things are going to be fine in January. They're not going to be fine in January. And then when it comes, they'll assume that things will be fine in March, but it's not going to be fine in March, and it's just continue until, the future is going to be far more like the Hollow Men than it is going, that T.S. Eliot, which is basically
Orpheus, it's super interesting that you say that, because I'm noticing this big cognitive dissonance between a lot of like urbanites, because I kind of warned them, because I believe in the collapse, and I warned them about collapse, and I kind of encourage them to do the things we're talking about right now, and they'll say, "Oh, we'll be fine." But then when any little kind of news story comes out, they freak out and they say that everything's going to, like, the world's going to end in a year, everything's going to go crazy, and we all need to do something right now immediately. So do you have any explanation for this, why someone would, think that they don't have to do anything to prepare for a potential catastrophe, but they also think that, like, everyone and all the world governments need to come together as one.
Well,
to prevent some kind of apocalypse happening in 1 year, because I find that very contradictory. I know a lot of people who believe have that.
I don't necessarily think there will be a collapse in the way that, like, people, like preppers, would think it will be. That there are already massive disruptions in food supplies, but what will happen is people won't go starving, but the food that they eat will just have no nutrition. And so over time, I'm sorry to get depressive, but over time, they'll start to realize, why is everyone in a perpetual state of illness, in dis-ease? But they won't realize, because they will be satisfied with their various trinkets.
And tap water is another issue. That's also a big concern for me, is chemicals within the water.
Yeah, or that, exactly. Chemicals.
You can still drink it, but what will it do? That's something that people don't keep in mind.
No, the collapse will be a slow degradation so the spirit of man is nothing more than these embers burning in their gut, and they're full of parasites and that sort of thing. It won't be jackboots kicking in your door. It won't be like SS troops marching down the local town street.
Which is really what's in the popular psyche. Whenever people imagine an apocalypse or dystopia, it's always so over the top. But in real life, I don't think it'd work that way, because how do you gain someone's trust? It
did work. It did work that way in the USSR. At least out of all that's the closest that it came to. I mean, other communist nations as well. But it's interesting. There was that. You guys heard of Alexei Navalny? So he was the guy who was running.
Never heard of him.
So he was the guy who was running against Putin. So even though in Russia they have controlled opposition presidential candidates, he was actually the real deal. Like, he was not controlled opposition. He was against Putin and his policies, and
CIA controlled opposition.
Oh boy. Well, hold on. We're gonna get into that, because it's funny that they kept bringing up CIA regarding his poisoning, which is absolute bullshit, because there wasn't any need at all for the CIA to find something that was publicly available that you and I could find, as far as the research that he used to find out who it was that poisoned him, which was the Russian government. So for those who don't know, Navalny, he was the anti-Putin candidate, and he got poisoned. The way that he got poisoned was his underwear as well as other clothing. These guys,
was he Mormon?
No, not Mormon, but he wore this blue underwear, and he was constantly being tailed by these FSB agents, who are kind of like they're kind of thuggish looking, but some of them also were in they were chemists, and they knew how to make these poisons, and they knew how to administer the poisons. But it's a very nuanced thing where you wouldn't always get it right. And when they went to his hotel room, they put the poison in his shirts, in his underwear, and other parts of his clothing, so that when he went to the airport and then the airplane, he started feeling really sick. He went to the bathroom, and then the plane, it was going to land, an emergency landing in I don't know which city it was, but anyway, when the plane landed, the dispatchers told them that there are mines on the airfield. So just think about that for a second. That was their excuse. They wanted to delay as much as possible the flight going down, so that the emergency vehicles wouldn't arrive in time and he would die. But that didn't end up happening. They did not take that bullshit. I mean, think about that for a second. Just like, what a ridiculous statement that there are mines on the airfield. Why would there be mines on the airfield, like in a Russian airport?
In
It's not-
Minecraft.
well, there we go. But anyway, he landed, the emergency services took him, and that was pretty much responsible for him living to that period. And then afterwards, there were calls that were made. You know, Germany made a call. Some other countries ended up making a call as well to Putin to finally get this guy free. What they were trying to do is they were trying to delay so that by the time he'd get out, they wouldn't have found the poison agent. But they did end up finding the poison agent. Not just that, but I will send you the video later. It's a really interesting video where Navalny, he managed to track down the actual people who were in charge of murdering him, as well as the people who took his clothing and were in charge of like washing the poison off. And he managed to he called 15 or so people. All of them hung up. Like, he pretended to be an FSB agent. But finally, he got one guy who who basically spilled the beans. And he said everything, how exactly it was done. And he was also wondering, wait a minute, is this okay that we're talking on an open line? It was like, yeah, sure it is. And he was, okay, fine. So it's a very interesting video, but the reason why I mention it is and Alexander Nevzorov, who's a famous Russian commentator, he made a point about this, about how far the Russian FSB has fallen in comparison to what the KGB was like. Because if this was the KGB USSR days, what they would have done is they would have had their own emergency services at the ready to pick this guy up, to give him fake medicine so that he would just die off. They didn't think of that. So they basically and they would have had their own pilots in the fucking airplane. So it was a very shittily done operation, which for me just, it goes to show me that the glory days of this high functioning intelligence apparatus in Russia at least is no more. And they're just working with a bunch of idiots when it comes to trying to get rid of their opponents.
Yeah.
Lev, I have a book recommendation for you.
Days are, in the same way that communism was given to the people of Eastern Europe overtly, and then to the people of Western Europe subvertively through, the institutions over decades. You could say the same thing about the intelligence agencies. They no longer really have to focus and try their hardest in Russia or Belarus for all these places, whereas they're going to pull out all the stops in the West because that's their new bastion. That's their vanguard is no longer in the East, it's now in the West. But it's the same thing, it's just transitioned over, perhaps.
Wait, I'm a little bit confused. What exactly transitioned over? My cell phone just died right now. I'm going to have to charge it back up again. But I do hear you.
The practices of the intelligence agencies, the most, it is my opinion that, at the senior management level of all intelligence agencies, that it's the same whether it's Mossad, CIA, MI6, the old KGB. But their focus of intent is in the West now rather than in the East, and so they might be lacking and be pretty have not much coordination in the East, but in the West they will apply those sort of old tactics that they did in the era of the KGB.
Well, it really depends though, because if we're talking about these old tactics, I mean, sure, we have things that we can look at and say, this is no good. We have this fucking, the Epstein Island, no good, not great. But if we are comparing that to the amount of bad shit that was done by the KGB to people on a regular basis, and these are people that were just lightly speaking out against something, what was done here, which would have been done multiple times in previous administrations during the USSR. This is honestly, it would be the equivalent of somebody either poisoning, Trump or Biden, as far as knocking
right.
out an opposition candidate. I mean, this is why it's important for me to say, like, look, America's got its own problems, but when it comes to actually identifying how bad things could get, I think we can use that as a good barometer to say, okay, by the time people are pulling this shit, then we know.
Rich?
Yeah. Well, I
that
guess
is
my
one.
point about
I'll give you one more. Not just Seth Rich, but also that journalist guy who had that that's not self-driving car, but that robot car. Hastings, yes, Michael Hastings. But that's like two. But that's like two. So we have two people here comparing to how many people were eliminated in the entire history of the USS fucking R.
Yeah.
So,
No, I think I agree. It's not as
that we know of. That's all we know of. There could be many more.
Well, there are many that we know of actually from Russia. I will, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send you, Aman, and the rest of you guys as well. I'll send you a list of the people who have been eliminated in these recent years by the Russian government, as well as like in the USSR before that. There's probably countless amounts of people if we're talking about the gulags, but beyond the gulags, just in general, like it is so much and it is so frequent. Which is why, like, I know, Aman, you think Putin is base and all that, and look, I respect your opinion, but to me, Russia is a prime example of a Potemkin village.
They can't be as callous in the West as they can in Eastern Europe, because the previous 80 years of relative prosperity and some decades of extreme prosperity and then other decades of decline just mean that like it would stick out like a sore thumb, and you can't do those things. And so it has to be inseminated carefully and slowly. Like if I was a spook, that's how I would go about it in the West. I wouldn't just do it openly.
Well, then it would have to be as natural of a death as possible if we're talking about that. But then I would be curious, like, who were the people who, let's say, to entertain the possibility of this, which sure, like, I want to entertain the possibility that these things would happen here too, but then let's break it down. The people who we know that have met with unfortunate circumstances, like we talk, Seth Rich, Michael Hastings, but beyond that, what are some people who may have died like a natural, quote-unquote, natural death that we could say like, oh, maybe they were looking into certain things they weren't supposed to, and they were gotten rid of. I just don't know right now. Like, if you guys know any people like that, then those would be the candidates to look at as far as this more intricate way of doing it. But again, I would still lean on the side of, like, we have our own pricks. By we, I mean the United States. The United States has its own pricks, but at the same time, it's like, I don't like the comparison of, well, Russia's just the same, America's just the same as Russia, no different. Like, if you knew the extent of the bullshittery that goes on there, it's like, there's a reason why I live here and not there.
I'm not trying to say it's the same or anything, but there's definitely dirt that's going on in Canada. Like one that a guy, like a pharmaceutical couple, they were murdered mysteriously in a very professional manner. I think it was last year. There were a bunch of finance people who died in very, mysterious ways, and the news just kind of washed over it. People die and people get killed all the time. Business is always business, and murder is always on the table, no matter where you are. No government can stop that. I'm not saying Russia or anything. It's just natural. It's not something to really.
Well, there's a slight difference. What I think is going on here, the murders you're talking about, it does seem to me more like these people. They might as well be in the fucking mafia. If we're talking about all these business types, they've got a lot of dirty laundry, yada yada yada. They're kind of in that club. If we're talking about them, I could see where you're coming from, definitely. But if we're talking about like anti-government, like various people who speak out against whatever the government's doing, then we're talking about something different. And I want to distinguish these two things, because America and Canada, for all of its faults, we still have dissidents in here who voice their opinion. Sure, you could say, oh, they're controlled opposition, whatever, but still, like, even us right now, we're talking on the stream and we're able to voice our opinions. And even if YouTube censors us or whatever, there are other options that are growing the more of the censorship is going on. And I don't find myself worrying Like, I'm actually pretty fucking calm right now, even with the Biden administration, that I'm not going to be thrown in fucking jail, and neither will you. I mean, we'll see what happens as the years roll on. Like I said before, we have an indicator of how bad things can get by looking at countries like Russia. But the one distinction that I want to make here, Amon, is like, you could be absolutely right when it comes to a lot of these business types. They can wind up in certain precarious positions. But if we still have people voicing their dissent against the government, and those are not the people that are getting killed, then we're not in as bad of a place as we could be otherwise.
Lev, there's a book I wanted to reference right now because there's a really good story about Russia. The book is called Nothing is True and Everything is Possible, The Surreal Heart of the New Russia by Peter Pomerantsev. I really recommend it. And he basically talks about the Russians have their own version of the FDA that makes sure what chemicals are legal and which ones aren't, just like we have here. But the guy that's now running it was actually one of the guys that was supposed to be president of Russia. Like, he's supposed to take Putin's place, but he didn't get it. Putin ended up getting it. So he's this really vindictive, bitter guy. And the thing about their FDA is that when they declare a chemical is illegal, it becomes illegal overnight, and no one knows about it until it's too late. So what happened is this woman who owned a pharmaceutical company got arrested because she owned a lot of chemicals, because she was manufacturing and processing a lot of chemicals, which overnight became illegal. And she was thrown in prison. She was given no trial. And I basically found out that the entire thing was actually a power grab by this Russian version of the FDA versus some other organizations. So a lot of innocent people actually get caught in the crossfire when these different government agencies have bones to pick with each other because they think they should be getting more funding or more power than the other government agency. And this FDA, again, this Russian, I forget what they're called. Let me look it up. But it's the Russian equivalent of the FDA. But they actually got into like an armed fight with some security officers at an airport at one point. I highly recommend the book, Nothing is True and Everything is Possible, and I'm looking into the Russian FDA. If I'm going to look up.
Thank you. I'm definitely going to check that out. Whoa, what is going on with the audio? Hold on, you are fading out right now.
Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
I can. Yes, I can.
I also want to say that it is not the Russian equivalent of the FDA. I am wrong. It is the Russian organization that maintains chemicals and which chemicals are safe and not. So it wouldn't be the FDA. It would be more like the Russian equivalent of NIOSH or something like that.
Interesting. Well, the other thing, by the way, about these chemicals, if we're talking about the poisons, another issue that needs to be brought up here is that because, like someone was mentioned, like the Slavic incompetence, yes, like the problem here is that with these chemicals, even if they're just going after one dude, they are liable to poison an entire, and I believe this has happened several times, like they can poison like an entire housing complex, like entire families would be sick from this stuff that was meant for an individual person. So that is the other worry here.
I mean, the whole idea of saying like, oh, we can't land here, there's mines, just feels that they didn't really think it out very well,
No, well, I don't think they are the best people equipped for the job. Like somebody was mentioning, Martin K in the chat was mentioning Beria. And yeah, if there was a Beria and if there were people like that, then it would be a different story. But I really think like Putin and the other people around his age, they're kind of like the last generation. They're like the last generation that was taught by the KGB people. I mean, they're KGB themselves, but they were taught by the OGs. And they still have that same mentality. And the problem here is I would actually fucking love for Russia to become an ally of the US and go after China. I think that would be the best case scenario. But like I mentioned before, and I could show you examples like Russia was selling off, not even selling off, they were fucking giving away islands that, after World War II, they got them. Same thing with Japanese islands. Like the Russians got Japanese islands, aren't giving those away. Those poor Japanese, they're not getting those fucking islands back. But the Chinese, they're getting those islands back.
Yeah.
And as well as all this Siberian land that's being occupied by the Chinese people right now. That's Russian territory. It's Russian land. Yet the Chinese are going in there and nobody's really doing anything about it. That's on the southern half. on the half of Russia that's like occupied by Chechnya. That's a whole other fucking story. Where Putin originally he was, he started up the Russia-Chechnya war, the second one, but then after that, he made this alliance with Kadyrov. And for those who don't know about Kadyrov, he's like the guy who runs Chechnya now. He has a specific tribe, like Game of Thrones style, very medieval type, dealings there, where his tribe got the favor of the president, so his tribe gets money, and I don't even want to call it's tribute. That's what it is. It's tribute.
Yeah.
The Russian government
Which,
is
by the way,
tribute.
this goes on all the time in multiple countries, especially in Afghanistan. Like that's just,
yeah.
Afghanistan and in Mosul in Iraq. Like that's just the way of things. Whenever there's a new dictator or a new leader, they have to pay tribute to the tribal lords to this day. Like
well,
Saddam
just
paid tribute to the tribal
yeah,
lords
but
of
just to
Mosul.
be clear here,
ISIS did.
this is the Russian people paying
Yeah.
tribute to the Chechnyans.
I just said this does not surprise me.
But it doesn't end there. The other horrible thing here is now you have in Russian cities Chechnyan dudes going
What's the
around.
difference between that and the Americans paying tribute to Israel?
I will explain. So
Too
if we're
true.
talking, I will explain. If we're talking about the situation in Russia right now, you have Chechnyan men going around raping whoever, whatever woman they want to rape, and they end up getting away scot-free from that. They are running Russia like a bitch.
And Israel is like a home for sort of like pedophiles who want to escape back to Israel. They can just
Well,
go there.
we're talking about.
Televisors-
Here's the difference. We are talking about not somebody who is escaping from America to Israel. We are talking about occupiers of Russian soil who are here. They're actually doing physical harm to the Russian people. And not only that, but they have their machine guns at the ready, stationed at hotels, so that if the Russian people at any point end up revolting against the government, they are going to be at the ready to suppress that. And that is a big fucking deal, and that's not something that people pay attention to.
Samson option, though.
It sounds what?
It's just the same as the Samson option.
What is the Samson option?
Yeah,
Samson
let's get into
option
that.
You
is
bring the
basically-
building down around you.
The Samson option is Israel. Basically, they've said that if anyone attacks them, they will release all of their.
What was it called? Like
Project
I know what you're
Samson
or
talking
something?
about.
Project
I know what you're
Samson.
talking about.
Well, yeah, if Israel gets attacked, they nuke the entire world and send us into
Yeah,
like
we
the
have
next ice age.
documents proving that. That's
Yeah,
real.
yeah. It's just the same thing because that, and I'm not saying I'm saying there is no difference because, to me at least, senior management is essentially the same. Like there are people who don't belong to any particular nation state, and they operate as such. And actually, these minor disputes between Chechnya and southern Russia, they pale in comparison. They're just there to, farm like energy and money and resources and all these sorts of things. But like on a large like game sphere of the entire world, they're pretty irrelevant. It's kind of like Venezuela and Nicaragua doing whatever. It really doesn't matter.
Well, it does matter to the people who are going to be living in Russia for the years to come. I mean, the Samson option. Would you just to be clear? What you're saying is that under the Samson option, they would nuke who? They would nuke the entire world, or the person who nuked them, or the state that nuked them?
The entire world, but I might be wrong on that.
Okay, well, no, this is something we got to check out. So that seems kind of excessive.
Let me Google it right now.
It's just
Yes.
bringing
I
the
remember
temple
reading
down
about
around
the Samson
you.
option before.
Here we go. Okay.
I can confirm.
Samson
All right.
option is the name of some military analysts and authors have given to Israel's deterrent strategy of massive retaliation with nuclear weapons as a last resort against a country whose military has invaded or destroyed much of Israel. Okay, that has nothing to do with nuking the entire world. I'm sorry,
but
that is completely
No, but there is a connection. There is a connection because when you nuke a country, the country allied to that country will also join in. So it's basically so you're right. Nuking the entire world is not what it is, but what it is starting nuclear war. Because
it
we're still in
it will create a world.
Yeah, because we're still operating under mad politics. We're still operating under mutually assured destruction. Mutually assured destruction never went away. The Cold War never really went away. So
would America have a different strategy here, or no? Like, does
America
America have
America
its
does
own?
not have a different strategy. This is how it works for every country.
But then why is Israel being singled out?
I'm just. I'm
That's a good point.
I'm not saying that
That's quite a good point.
Because it's the scapegoat. Because Israel is always the scapegoat, and I understand. Here's the thing. Here's what I want to do.
Okay, it's a scapegoat, but it's also the elephant in the room. So that's why it has to be spoken about.
Well, I wasn't arguing for one thing or another. I was just trying to describe the Samson option. That's what I was. I was just trying to describe it and just trying to describe it.
So we're clear what the Samson option is.
Applies to the United States.
And here's the thing. Like you guys know, if you give me the worst things about Israel, I'm going to read them and I'm going to study them, and I don't shy away from it. But at the same time, I also want to be realistic with what we're talking about here and what we're comparing one thing to another with. So if we're talking about the situation in Russia right now, this is basically an occupied government by the Chechens, as far as they are the muscle that is used against the Russian people in the case of insurrection. If you look at the amount of mosques that are being built there, the amount of praying that's
and
going
also
on
the ties to the Russian mob, like that's important. Like we have to remember the Russian apartment bombings of September 1999. That was, the mob and the Chechens working directly with each other.
Oh, and over here it said Martin K. He started judo at 4. Not gonna say more. Yeah, that's a good point. Like Putin, he has his, like the Rothenbergs, they're friends of his going all the way back to the judo days, just because they were doing judo back then and they grew up with each other, and so he is very loyal. Like I will say this about Putin, he is a very loyal person to his friends, and I hope that more people have that same kind of loyalty to their friends as he does to his friends.
And this FDA story that I just mentioned, the guy in charge of the Russian equivalent of the FDA, he was not loyal to Putin. Like he was he knew Putin, he went to class with Putin, but he was a relative nobody compared to Putin, and he resents him for that.
So Shock 1999 said more like the Samson deception. So which I think he's basically saying that nuclear weapons don't exist, and again, it's just a perception curation rather than a like this actual thing that exists and that's going to destroy the world. And if that's what he's talking about, I would tend to agree. I think most things in this world are based on people's perceptions of an outcome as opposed to the actual potential. So it's far easier to persuade someone that something is going to happen rather than put those myriad of steps in place than it potentially to happen. I know that's kind of a sort of conceptual thing to say, but does that make sense?
It does somewhat, but my problem with a lot of these things is I want to be able to extract the greatest amount of truth as I possibly can from any of these things, or I get to a point where I could say, history is very murky when it comes to these things. I don't know my stance on this. There are certain things I lean on, though. Like, I lean on whether it's just my own romantic fascination with it. I lean on us being a species with amnesia that are way more advanced than we realize, pointing to ancient civilizations, things like that. That is something I lean on. I can't say for sure whether there was an Atlantis or Lemuria or stuff like that. And I think it is more popular today online to go into directions of, doing the opposite. Like, instead of fuck you dad, it's fuck you establishment. It's fuck you all these, things that we were taught. And I could see that being a good thing in certain respects. But at the same time, I think people can over Shizzo post. I think people could get to the point where everything just becomes a conspiracy and nothing is real. He's losing his mind. Nothing is real.
I respect that. But I think in respect to this last year and the fact that almost every single country has operated in the exact same way, according to the lockstep documents by the Rockefellers that were created sort of 15 years ago. These things, to me, it's now plainly obvious. Maybe a year ago I would have been like, maybe I'm overreacting with this whole sort of globalist new world order, blah blah blah. But no matter where you go, it is essentially the same. We are operating under complete false pretenses, and we're destroying every national economy around the world. And obviously, you just have to see where these things lead. and at the end of them, they will lead to the destruction of all small and medium-sized businesses, and we will live in a world where we have essential workers and non-essential workers. You know, and the essential workers, like in England, we clapped for the NHS every Thursday night in this ritualized manner. The essential workers, which they'll be in this sort of new medical tyranny, basically, and then the non-essential workers will be your average tech worker who works for a company, and he's just writing like back-end code for some like I don't know, some bullshit.
Lev, what's going on with the cam there? Oh,
Well,
we're back. We're back.
Well, now you could see you over
We're
here.
good.
But
they are all operating the same. For instance, Belarus, right, which was the most demonized country back when Lukashenko was elected. Right. And the irony is that Belarus, everyone in the world, whether it was the BBC or CNN or RT or whoever it is, said, well, yeah, there was clearly fraud, election fraud. And then it turns out that Belarus is one of the only countries that hasn't locked down at all. Lukashenko was offered over $900 million by the IMF to abide by certain rules.
Oh, Lev, you're upside down.
Lev, yeah, you seem to be upside down right now.
I'm not even gonna fight it anymore.
We're just gonna keep this.
I'm just gonna
Lev
keep this.
in the upside down world.
How does he do it?
We're about to turn it.
Levitation.
Now, one thing that I could say about Lukashenko is that while what you're saying may definitely be the case, at the same time, why the fuck was he going after with such brutality against the protesters? Like, that's the other side of it. That's like, okay, if everything
because I reckon the protesters were probably paid. They were probably paid at like agitprop, paid by, or at least instigated in the same way that the Arab Spring was, by just foreign assets who just occupy countries and can be turned on at any time. To me, it does seem viable.
If you don't wipe that sort of thing out immediately, that's how the commies get a foothold, and then how they spread and infiltrate, and things get very messy very quickly. You have to wipe it immediately, ruthlessly, before the people get confused who's who. So you need to keep the country united immediately.
Yeah. Just look at Ukraine, how they did Ukraine.
Well, again, this is something that we have to get very deep into and look at as many details as possible.
From the American intelligence ambassadors,
send me those leaks. I want to see everything. So send me those leaks. I want to see that.
Sure.
And then I want to also get back into this conversation at a later time when I would be much more acquainted with it. Because again, like that is. Even though, like, it could definitely be what you're saying right now with the leaks and everything, I want to be very careful with this, not for, my own sake, but just, like, I mean, for my own sake, too. Like,
yeah, I'm not saying bombastic, it was the CIA and Americans that overthrew the government. I'm just saying they were pushing hard and played up the factions that eventually got the job done. And flooded the streets with the Orange Revolution, etc. I'm not saying it was totally controlled or effectuated by the Americans, but it was definitely helped.
Well, I'm definitely going to take a look at that, and I'm going to take a look at the situation that's going on with Lukashenko. But at the same time, I'm also going to send out things having to do with what exactly were what exactly was the nature of this brutality? Because, like, Aman, I see your point that if these things are squashed in the beginning, like Iran was able to squash some of their uprisings, and that may be why they're still around right now. But I don't know. It is an interesting question for me. Like, at what point does something become, regardless of whether it's agitprop or whatever, at what point does it become absolutely inexcusable? Is there an unexcusable point, or is the word unexcusable just something that we're using right now to feel good about ourselves?
No, the
current. We should try getting the guys from Russians with Attitude podcast on for that topic. That would be great. If anyone of you has listened to that, Russians with Attitude.
Let me take a look.
Every weekend, of course.
Lev, I think that the current sort of ethical sort of operating system that we live under is might is right, and that's what is going to prevail. I'm not saying that's I don't think is the right way to go about things, but that's the way that the sort of managerial class and their donors operate. And So if Lukashenko does the same thing, then under these current sort of circumstances, it's either like, he bows out and his country becomes just another, it's operated by the banks, or it has some sort of agency. I don't know.
And with the banks, that's something that I have to take another look at as well, because I want to bring on actual bankers to this show. I'm serious. Like, I want to bring on people who are associated with the
unless you
with the
bring
federal...
on like
bringing the enemy into your own home. Are you serious, Lev?
Because here's what I'm curious about, and I have read neither. Have you guys read any books that are, let's say, I don't know, pro-Federal Reserve or pro-central banking?
You know what? I don't think I have.
I've read articles. I've read articles that are pro-Federal Reserve and talking about how much we need to defend it. And
if you just watch the news, it's pro-Federal Reserve. If you just watch regular broadcasting news,
he's right.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen a lot of people talking about how we need it, how it must be defended at all costs, but not a full book. I'll concede that I have never read a full book, just articles and videos praising it.
I've read the economic side of why they say it's good and so on and so forth, but they don't really have a human side to it. They don't consider it necessary. So it's pretty easy for me to just say, what about the human side? And they don't care about that question. Like they're pretty like transparent about the fact that they don't care about the average person. And like it's a weird ideology. Like they honestly believe that people are just resource points, like little things in StarCraft or something. Like
I've also encountered a lot of people who think that it's the obligation of the people to consume, but not to get enough money so that way they can afford consuming. I've seen that a lot too.
Yeah, no, but they're both correct. Like in that respect, it is
like you're a bad person if you don't put money into the economy, if you don't have said money to put in the economy.
Oh no, so I was thinking on a different vein. I was thinking sort of like the banks provide a service at the end of the day. You're the one that takes the loan to buy a car that you don't need when you could buy a cheaper car, and so that's what keeps it all going. Like you are ultimately responsible for the state of how things operate.
I've seen that too, but the point that was just made about people being resource points in StarCraft, like that's the opinion that to me most mirrors that, was seeing all these I don't want to generalize, but a lot of them were boomers saying that it wasn't moral, that millennials weren't putting, like they said, like that millennials were hoarding their wealth, when in fact actually didn't have the wealth to put into it.
Boomers have been conditioned into that way of thinking for their entire life.
Well, for example, like boomers bought these houses and they've been saving them up, and these houses have been gaining more and more value. But no one can buy them because they are very expensive. And as opposed to like wondering why don't all these people not have the money to buy them, it's like, oh, it's their own faults. It's like, oh, they just don't want to, when really people literally don't have the wealth to buy it.
Yeah, I know, and exactly. And the way it's going to happen is that over time that will be seen as completely unsustainable and therefore immoral. And so then the government will come in and give you full debt relief in exchange for all of your freedoms, and that's exactly.
See, that is something I'm against, because I'm all in favor of full debt relief, but not at the price of that, to be honest.
Yeah, it'll be full debt relief, but you have to sign up to your monthly.
Essentially, you'll have to work off the debt, but they'll lie to you and say that you really have no debt at all.
A lot of all these questions are confusing right now because the paradigm is working on like a different set of fundamentals than ones that we believe in. Like most people here believe in something more than just resource points. So until things are kind of ordered on something that makes sense to us, it won't make sense to us. And that's just the way it is as far as I can see.
Someone in chat is trying to say, talk about the Brexit deal, and I'm not paying attention to like any politics.
Is that Snipebars?
Oh shit!
Oh no! Not this again.
Hey,
Snipebars, what are you doing on the stream? I loved your 2015 edits that you would post on your YouTube channel, Snipebars.
Thank you. Did you know that I'm actually not snipers, funnily enough? So.
You would, Snipers would say that. Anyway, it's so good to have you back in the show, because last time I saw you, I thought you had died in a terrible blender accident.
Well, it's okay.
I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah.
What ended up happening there when you threw your webcam in the blender? Did it
got a new one.
implode? Because I don't think I saw you after that.
I got
Oh,
a
you got
new
a new one.
Like I had to like have some streams where I wasn't doing that, so I got a
Well,
new one.
I think you made some great timing because Christmas is tomorrow. In fact, it looks like you know that we could do Santa.
Well, no,
hat
I'm on
and
my
all.
phone. I've got like an actual webcam, but I'm on my phone. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm, like going around like family and stuff.
didn't you end up like throwing something in your wall again? I mean, how's
Oh,
that?
I made a dent in that. I didn't throw anything again at the wall. Like I painted myself again a few times and stuff like that. So.
You're
enough about me.
mad. You're a mad lad, Ewan. You're crazy.
Yeah. Well,
You're
I haven't
fucking
been doing
wild.
attention whoring stuff for a while, so I've just been chilling on the stream.
It's good to hear from you again. I'm glad you're okay because I was really
I'm
concerned
alright. I didn't die.
once you went dark after that webcam implosion. I'm
No,
glad
I wasn't. I didn't even
everything's-
go dark. I've been on like almost all of the streams. So you're the one that's gone dark.
You know what? You're right. I did take a few weeks off, but I'm back,
Well,
and
you
that's what
don't get like
matters.
turn invisible, so that's probably it.
I'm fucking back in action, baby. I'm back in the BTR, ready for
well,
more.
this is the Christmas stream where only the people who are like the only reason I'm on is because it's like I'm just like a late owl. So
That's
I've been
you.
doing stuff all day.
Hey, you're the best part of the show.
Hell
I love when you come on. You're just a ball of energy. and
Well,
it's so great
sometimes
to
I
see you
am.
here.
Sometimes I like. the
It's
problem
a
is
nice it's a nice break from the Russian geopolitics, and it's really.
The problem is my performance on the fucking female stream is rubbish because I just like had a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
to
I
say
didn't-
and
I don't think
didn't
I
say it.
made
And
that
someone
one.
in the chat didn't understand that, which really annoyed me. Like, despite
I'm
the people
sure
who
he
are getting
feels
like
real
trying
bad
to
about
troll
that
me,
now.
right? The people who are trying to troll me, that's fine. The person who didn't understand doesn't understand the idea when you've got a lot going through your head and you can't like express it. That doesn't mean there's nothing going on your head. Like.
You know that's actually so true. That's so true. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Oh, there's not much going through my head like recently 'cause I've been drinking a lot, so it's just like just fucking like everyone wants to drink at Christmas, so it's just like fucking drink. Anyway, how's everyone been Christmas wise? I don't know if people have actually talked about that. Or...
You know what? I've been fantastic.
We were talking about Christmas just a little while ago.
Yeah,
Christmas
well, I know
Eve.
it's Christmas, but I've not been on the stream, so it's just like I don't know how many people have came and left.
Well, we've had Tsuyami, we've had Bane on.
Gio was there for like a couple minutes, and then he left.
We're still expecting Hotep Sophia to show up. I'm not sure what's going on, but yeah, as far as the stream goes, we have somebody in here who, again, with the doxing, I want to make sure I don't bring people in here who I end up doxing by accident. So everybody, just a public service announcement: don't use your Zoom registration with your first name and last name. Or, you know what, fuck it, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn the fucking screen off, let him in, because I'm sick of having to go back and forth with this. So, and by the way, all new people, okay, then that's fine.
Get him in here.
Blue Shoe.
Get him in
yes.
here.
Oh, Blue
yes,
Shoe to
Blue
make a
Shoe. It's
6-3
Blue
account.
Shoe.
He should be
Okay.
6-3
Gotta have Blue
for
Shoe
one
on the
day.
stream. That's a must.
Yeah. Wait, Blue Shoe. If I have your surname displayed, I completely forgot. Does that dox you, or are you fine?
Blue
So
Shoe, you
just-
sure you want to have your name on here, buddy?
Because
What is his name? It's not like Dunglethorpe Dingus. It's like an actual surname.
No. Well, there is Guy the Fourth. That's his Twitter name.
I see.
Yeah. So Guy the Fourth, that was his Twitter name. But then, as far as his surname being displayed here, not too sure. So I'm gonna have to again, Blue Shoe, tell me if I can let you in. I am this close to just letting you in. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm letting him in, but I'm going to turn the screen off because I don't know if he wants that name to be revealed or not. So here we go. Turning the stream off right now. Let me find where it is. No, not the stream, the screen. Turning the screen off. Okay. Zoom window closed. I also have this special green screen. Zoom window. Here we go. Okay, now you just see the deer. Good. Okay, here. I'm admitting him in. Okay. Now, Blue Shoe. Let's see where Blue Shoe is. He is coming anytime. And by the way, guys, while looking at this blank screen, don't forget
Make
to
sure
subscribe.
Yeah,
yes.
make sure to subscribe.
And by the way, everybody like Amon, like I said before, Amon, Martin, Disco Orpheus, please send me all the things that you want to send me regarding a lot of these situations with the protests, the agitations, whatever, and I would love to take a look at them, and I would love to let you know my thoughts on them and keep this conversation going, because I think a lot of these things, they get lost in the fray. People foxhole themselves in. I don't want to be like those people. I could tell you from my perspective the things that I know, and just, again, there is a reason why I don't live in Russia and why, regardless of its problems, I like the United States and why I choose to live here. So, anyway, let's see. Blue Shoe. Is Blue Shoe in here? Oh, here we go. Did I not press this button? Hold on. He's almost... There we go.
Blue Shoe, my great friend. Is that who I think it's... Is that...
Oh, no.
I don't mean to dox, but does your name start with A? Is that you?
Okay, Blue Shoe. I'm going to change your name right now, but just... Oh, there we go. You changed it
There we
yourself.
go.
Here,
Perfect.
I'm putting it back on the screen. I'm putting the thing back on the screen. But Blue Shoe,
Is that my friend?
let all the good people know. Let all the good people know whether or not that would have doxed you. Blue Shoe, can you hear me?
No, he said no.
He said no.
That's not my real name.
I'm pretty sure it was a response to him being
okay.
doxed or not.
Yeah, that's not my real name. Don't worry.
Okay.
Is that you, my
now
friend?
I know.
Is that the person I'm thinking of? The what's his name? The non-Irish guy who lives in Northern Ireland?
Me? No.
Ah, never mind. Sorry, different guy then.
No, I'd love to have him back on. I just gotta find this.
He's not even got the best Danganronpa
I'm from
character as his
America.
profile picture, so I'm just hesitant on speaking to him. He hasn't got Nagito as his profile picture. It's the only
Who's
good
Nagito?
Danganronpa character in my
Great
opinion.
point.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the
a good
character,
choice.
it's the
That's a good
character of the
choice.
fucking Russian roulette, like the fucking mad love. Otherwise, Danganronpa, I'm sorry, not that good. But Nagito, the good character, he's the essence of Danganronpa.
No, I don't trust Danganronpa fans. Too many of them.
You don't trust Nagito? Well, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, you definitely don't trust me. 'Cause I'm a fucking madman. So that probably makes sense. It's all good. It's all good. You've got the fucking. Anyway,
You're
it doesn't matter.
nuts. You're fucking crazy, Ewan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're fucking crazy.
This guy's crazy. This guy's. By the way, if I had a green Santa hat, I'd wear it. Because fuck Red Santa. Do you guys know about Red Santa? You Red Santa pilled, right? Well, green Santa pilled, I should say. Because Red Santa's fucking Coca-Cola. Get this shit off. Get this shit off. Fuck Red Santa. I'm sorry.
Are you gonna burn your Santa hat?
Well, I'm not. Well, I could actually burn it here.
Wait,
I could
Owen,
probably
who
actually burn
is
it.
Red Santa? What is Red Santa?
Ewan,
Red
you should,
Santa's by Commie Cola. Fuck Coca-Cola.
You should just start killing people. I think.
I've never heard of Red. Wait, so is there like a blue Santa and a
No,
green
Santa used to be a different color. I don't know what, but I know Red Santa, Coke made Santa red.
No, you're there, but I'm wondering, is there the existence of other colored Santas?
It's green Santa, I think, was originally, but blue Santa and black Santa, I
Is
don't
there
know.
a blue Santa? Is there a brown Santa? Is there
I don't know about
Santa
brown,
for
but
every
I
color?
know it's
Elemental Santa,
green.
like, is there a
I know
fire
green
Santa
is
and an
one
ice
of them,
Santa
and
and a
blue,
water
and then it's
Santa?
black and white Santa, I think, were the original
There's
ones.
only
I
one
don't remember
fucking
really.
Santa, I thought.
Like a rainbow Santa.
Well, it could be
he's
like a
he's
Power
been red
Rangers thing.
Santa. He's been
If
blue
you
pilled by
clone
the
Santa and you
Coca-Cola.
had a little bit of cherry Coke in it, would that become black?
Oh.
I don't care. I don't.
Sonic
Santa
Joe.
doesn't drink Coke in my
What's
eyes.
the
He's a
final
fucking-
red
He's a
pill on
cookies and
Santa
milk
Claus?
man.
What's
Don't
the
make
final
Santa
red pill
drink
on Santa
Coca-Cola.
Claus?
Well,
He's
Santa
fucking
Claus,
mad.
Can someone drop the
Black
red
the
pill on
Russian-
Santa
okay,
Claus, please?
okay,
Like,
so the
it's made by
Russian.
mixing Sonichu DNA with cherry cola. So I wonder if you could do the same thing with Santa Claus.
Can
So
someone
the,
black pill me on Santa Claus, please?
Okay, so the Russian
black
Santa
pill.
Claus called Ded Moroz, which means Father Frost. He
Yes.
had this granddaughter or this young girl named Snegurishka, which means I don't know, snow, snow something or other, and she in certain versions she's like a granddaughter, but in other versions she's his mistress. So
Yeah.
she could be both.
Yeah, basically, as long as Santa's not red, you have respect. But it's just fucking red Santa's very, very.
Well, this
not
Santa
cool.
was blue because I think the
Yeah,
Soviet
exactly,
Union
blue. But
Father
says in the
Frost
stat, he
was
called me
blue.
Anglo
Father
blue, which
Frost
is
was
fair
blue.
enough. Blue Santa.
And Saint Nicholas traditionally wore green, so you are right. But I'm just interested in the idea of using a kind of a Sonichu look on this and making different kinds of Santas.
The chaotic combo.
Santa, I was just
Santa?
referencing Blake, otherwise known as Blatchu, which is
Oh, I love
yes.
Blake. Blake, can we get Blake on the show? Blake's my favorite.
Yeah.
No, it's Bionic.
very
Bionic
colorful.
could have made Chris buff. If Chris followed the Bionic path, he would have been buff, man. He would have been the buff basketball player. But he chose the cringe path in life to become a Sonic, fucking Sonichu and Pikachu, which is by the way, a lame combination of Pokemon. It's
Yeah,
no
it is.
imagination there. It's he might as well combine Sonic and Mario because he's a fucking idiot.
Well, no,
It's just
because
like, whoa.
Christian is actually incapable of being original because he conceived it because in a class he was told to make an original character for a CD album, but he wasn't allowed to use Pokemon or Sonic, which is a
He
so
just
I'll
just put both of them
got
on.
away with it.
And also, I don't know, don't trust Christine, or whatever alias he changes his name to try and avoid the fans. That's what the transgender thing was. He was trying to get rid of old trolls. It wasn't a, fucking sex change. It was just.
No, I thought he was legitimately going insane. I thought that's why. Because Chris is going crazier and crazier by the days go by. He genuinely believes in the dimension.
Chris Chan is going to telefrag me. That's what's going to happen. He's going to make TF2 real and put a teleporter under me and just fucking kill me while I'm sleeping.
I'm gonna make TF2 real, and then I'm gonna
don't
TF3 dimension.
Well, we started this stream actually talking about Chris Chan and talking about his father.
Well, of course we are. It's Chris Chan and a couple other things.
That's pretty much what BTR is. It's just
it's
Chris Chan gooning, some talking about Russia, geopolitics, and then back to gooning.
If you get Chris Chan on the show, are you gonna talk about the Goon Caves?
Oh, definitely.
No, I'm going to force Chris Chan to do push-ups on stream if he joins. I'm going to derail the conversation.
No, you wouldn't dare, Ewan.
I would
a guest
force
like
Chris
that,
Chan to
if
do
a guest like
push-ups,
that was on the show, I mean, we got to take it seriously. These are people.
No, we don't. We got to force Chris Chan to do push-ups.
He's a busy man. All right.
No, I don't care. We're forcing him to do push-ups. Christine, whatever the fuck he wants.
You better address her by Christine. I want you to be responsible.
I said Christine, but
I'm going to be honest. Chris Chan to
his real name's not even Chris, by the way.
That's true. We don't want him to just leave.
Yeah,
Chris Chan has gotten a little more wise to trolls
Ian
over the years.
Brandon Anderson. Please, call him by his correct name. Thank you very much.
I want to introduce Christine to the world of the Agori. So when Christine comes here, I want to tell Christine about you guys know what the Agori is, right?
These are the Shivites, right? These are the worshippers of Shiva who go to graveyards and eat bones, right?
Yes, exactly. But the thing about them is that they're really cool, but also they smell really bad. And I keep hearing from people that Chris Chan or Christine, that when Christine goes to a festival, the first thing people notice is how horrible, a death smell, that there is a smell of death coming from her. And that is something that is common to the Agori. So in a way, why not introduce Christine to this concept? She's halfway there,
Well, does she eat corpses like the Agori do? Does she eat and live in graveyards and all that?
It's about time to start. That's what I say. But we have the Sonichu characters who might as well be demons. And if we're talking about the Agori, who
it's just mental illnesses, just transformed onto fucking just shit like that.
It's a transmuting. It's a transmuting of mental insanity into spiritual oneness, into the idea that
it's otherwise known as fan fiction. That's what all fan fiction revolves around: is mental illness and narcissism. That's what it revolves around. It's all fan fiction.
Sure. There was this lady. Does anybody remember Helen Pink Galvin? Does that name ring a bell to anybody?
Helen Pink Galvin?
Okay, she was another she was this furry artist who I think was Indian. She had the bindu on her head, crystal bindu. And I recently I found an old photo of her, and she's she's got kind of horse-like teeth, and she drew this character named
Is that
Pink.
the first description? Is that the first thing you said about her appearance? It's horse-like
How dare
teeth.
you?
Jesus, Lev.
My
Jesus,
Indian
man.
queen.
No.
She must be okay if that's the first thing you say.
No,
Do I forget her name again? I want to look up her stuff. What's her name?
Helen Pink Galvin. Let's see if you could find it. Man, it's been a long time. Helen Pink. I don't think she's on the internet anymore, but this is back in the day. And
I'm surprised when you're fucking calling a horse. Jesus, come on, you single-handedly take her off the internet.
Let's see. I can't
find anything.
No. Oh, here. I found an art from somebody named Plump Dragon. Bouncy Pink. Okay, so Pink. Oh, I'm not gonna post this on Discord because this may be too hot for TV. But yes, but this is So she's this furry cat creature with big boobs and these these pigtails, these giant pink pigtails This is the only picture that I found of her. Yeah, so she's like gone from the internet. She is nowhere to be found except for that one picture that I saw of her, which I don't know where it is right now. But she's living in England, or was living in England. And she was on disability, so she kept getting checks from the government, but she just drew like the her furry art, and she was also very much into toilets. Not scat play. No, not scat play. She was into like the actual like how a toilet looks, like the actual design.
Well, like the
of
Quagmire thing.
Did you do the drawing when like Sonic gets turned into a toilet and Shadow's like, oh
no,
this isn't my day either.
That's horrible.
No, that's not her.
Day too.
No, she just liked toilets. You know, there are just some people out they just like toilets. They just like the way they look.
Some people, and myself included, who just like machines. Like we like trains, or like the way guns are built, or the way tanks are built, or the way boats are built. Is it like that? Is it like enjoying the engineering of toilets?
I'm trying to get these people away from this kind of shit. I'm talking about Blue Santa. That lasted 1 minute. Like Sonitude, toilet, role play, poo poo, pee pee. This
like she thought toilets were just aesthetically appealing. She likes the aesthetic of toilets.
I think I have a photo of Pink that I could actually show. Hold on.
Okay.
Let's see. Is this one well covered up? Let's see. No. Okay. Yeah. This one's fine. So again, I have no
like MS Paint to make it a little more appropriate if you need to.
No. It's fine. This one is as appropriate as you can get it. This is on Fur Affinity, by the way. I'm trying to click on this photo.
Well, of course it is. I mean,
oh, here we go. Copy image. Okay. This is what I'm talking about. This is Pink.
We read 11. Are you gonna be cursing us if you show us this? Oh, wait.
All right, this is Pink.
That's just someone with big tits.
And she was Indian. Was she? Because you bring because we were talking about Hindu. We were talking about the Agori at one point.
Yeah.
Is there a connection between Helen Pink and Hinduism?
You.
I think she was Indian.
Lev, how much of a furry are you? Come on, Lev, be honest with us, because you keep posting. You seem like you're like an ironic furry, like an ironic weeb.
Just lock your doors, I guess.
Maybe a little bit.
Here's what I can say. When Byzantium Archon says, "Why does Lev have a photo to share?" Well, this is the only one that I was able to find when I searched for Pink Galvin. That's another weird name, by the way.
She
Galvin.
cute though. She cute.
Galvin, yeah.
Galvin. But anyway, and I think she was talking about how she had mental issues and things like that, but this is like way back in the day. But anyway, this is what happened. I was in Catholic school. Okay.
Bad
start. Okay, I was in Catholic school. Blue says, "Lev, no." I was in Catholic school, and in one of the classrooms, there were books that were in the like little mini library, like not a tall library, but just like within reach. And I just took some of the books out, and one of the books, I'll even show you the exact book that it was. It was How to Draw Sonic the Hedgehog. That was the name of the book.
I mean, you have talked about Sonic a lot, haven't you? You did like loads of like your Sonic
Lev is a big
You definitely are like a bit of a
major Sonic head.
This is where it started. Well, technically, it started even earlier, before I even went to school. It started when I was like, we moved from Russia to New York, like directly to New York. First, we lived with some relatives of ours, and then we moved to a place in Foster Avenue. And we moved to another place before Foster Avenue that I don't remember. And I remember watching the TV and seeing certain things that were like, I saw them, but I didn't really see them. Like you're so young that certain things are perceptive to you, but then you forget about. Yes.
Well, like you see them in your dreams,
Yes, exactly. So also at around the same time, slightly divergent discussion here, but around the same time, I had a vision of myself as an old man walking across the street and getting hit by a black car.
You mean you, by the way, like, because I purposely made my name confusing. You mean you, Lev, as in yourself?
Yes, Lev, exactly. So I had this vision of me crossing the street and getting hit by a car. I was like an old man, so that could have been a past life of mine that I saw when I was like 4 years old. Anyway, getting back to the subject at hand, when I saw this How to Draw Sonic book, and here I'm going to post an image on it in btr-chat for those who don't know what I'm talking about. This was the book. This is the book
that looks
right
more
here.
normal than I thought.
Yeah, no, it's a regular, it's a pretty normal book. But look
it's
over
like How
here.
to Draw Anime. They always look grotesque. How to draw
Yes,
anime.
but look look who was on the corner there.
Oh wow.
Princess Sally. So
Oh
imagine.
no.
Okay, so imagine this. You are seeing this character, the Sally character, when you are 4 years old in, long time ago. Because keep in mind, this is when I was like 7 years old, I think. So the memory of seeing this character, of like my 4-year-old self seeing this character, it just got activated. It's like, what the fuck? Where have I seen this before? Why has this been kept hidden from me all this time?
Out something really weird about this book. There's something really weird enough about this book.
I think I know what it's gonna be, but go on.
Because Sally is part of the other show. There's 2 Sonic shows.
Yes.
That Robotnik is not the right Robotnik. Exactly. It's the wrong Robotnik with the wrong Princess Sally.
Americans don't give a fuck. The Americans don't give a fuck. They're not like the Japanese who are like so precise.
Stuck with you. Something
they just
was
like throw
odd
everything
about it already. Like this might be an alternate universe book or something. You might have accidentally slipped into an alternate universe. No wonder it stuck with you.
Yeah, no, it's all kind of fucked up.
Oh, we jumped timelines.
Yes, but anyway, so I saw the book, and then I looked inside, and I saw that same Princess Sally drawing, and then I saw the bunny drawing as well. Now I liked Sally more, but Bunny wasn't bad. So at around that age, you know what I mean? Like, so also there was like Tiny Toon Adventures. So there was like Babs Bunny, and for like my 7-year-old self, she was kind of all right. The skunk, the skunk was the best. The skunk, you guys remember the skunk?
No. Yeah, you're a brat poster now, Leather. You're admitting you're a brat poster. Is that what you're doing with the skunk?
Okay, so for those who don't know about like Tiny Toon Adventures, they were supposed to be like the new generation of Looney Tunes. So like Buster Bunny,
there were so many of the baby ones, weren't there? It was like Muppet Babies.
No, I missed all that shit. Thankfully, I missed all that shit. That was back in the 80s.
They weren't babies, though.
Yeah, so when it comes to like Tiny Toons and Sonic the Hedgehog and all that stuff, like my first cartoon crushes were around that area. And definitely Princess Sally. And the thing about it was that it was also something far away. It was like this anima that was far away because that Sonic show wasn't on anymore. So it was like there was a brief experience that I had with this show, and I remember it just slightly, but then it's gone away. There is no internet yet. And even when there was an internet, there were just like certain snippets. And by the way, let me show you guys the fan art that I drew. For those who haven't seen it, I posted on my Twitter. The fan art that I drew of Sonic the Hedgehog and Princess Sally. So this was pre Sonic Adventure. This was before Sonic Adventure. This was me going into the sonicthehedgehog.com, the classic Sonic Archie site. And by the way, fun fact, I actually went to acting school with the kid whose father now owns Archie Comics and whose grandfather was the original creator of Archie. So there you go. That's just a
You know what this reminds me of, Lev? Do you know the Yukio Mishima thing where he's like I don't remember what the painting was, but when he was like first like masturbating to that like painting in the book with like the arrows going into that guy. Reminds me of you with Princess Sally when you're talking about the feelings. It's like the same kind of shit, man. Just like, you're opening up this book, it's awakening something inside you.
Have you ever watched the Redwall cartoon or read any of the Redwall books?
I have no idea what that is. What is that?
So Redwall is like in the list of stuff that has anthropomorphic.
Oh, but by the way, real quick, this is the fan art. So I drew this when I was like 8 years old.
Wow, pretty good. I like the Sonic. I like the Sonic a lot more than Sally.
Well, see,
pretty good actually.
I was confused about the way women's clothing worked. So, like, I remember like that bathing suit with those, but I drew it too big, Like it's just like a weird looking heart shape. But yeah, I agree. Sonic is better. Although I don't know what the fuck he's doing with his legs. It's kind of there's no balance.
Is there something to be said about the ultra expressive face of Sonic and why it's so appealing to people like that kind of lean on the spectrum a little bit, or like it's very clear what he's thinking and very clear what he's like feeling, and I guess that kind of is like easy for people who are maybe a bit challenged in some social aspects, like effect on him. You think maybe he's?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, like his eyes are fucking huge. Like his mouth is big. Like it's very. His design is genius and almost is like perfect for anyone with autism.
Yeah, no,
but the thing is, it's not exclusive.
Okay, so the Redwall books are a series of British fantasy books involving anthropomorphic animals in a medieval world, written by Brian Jacks. And there was a cartoon of it, and it's actually really fucking good. It's like a really good.
How do you?
But everyone's like a mouse in it. So if you like Sonic, I really recommend that.
Wait, how do you write that down? What's the name?
REDWALL Red Wall. Because I grew up with the cartoon, and I'm just saying on the list of like anthropomorphic entertainment with like everything on it, like it's probably like highest. It's
Let me take a look.
It's also completely non-sexual, which is why I like it a lot. You know?
Yeah. It's hard to make Rule 34 out of these creatures. I'm looking at them right now.
I already did, but like it's like actually good. Like it's actually a good show.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Watership Down. It's like
I love Watership Down.
Ewan, you remember Watership Down, right?
I don't remember it. No.
What about When the Wind Blows? That was a depressing.
If we're talking about animation, if we're talking about British animation, fucking Wallace and Gromit, fucking Wallace and Gromit.
Wait, hold on. Before we get to Wallace and Gromit, does anybody here know what the fuck I'm saying when I say When the Wind Blows?
Yeah, I know.
I know.
What is that?
That's a really good movie.
It was a movie that was made like in the 80s or the 70s, I don't know, about this old couple that experienced a nuclear war, like a nuclear bomb went off, and it's just such a depressing movie. Like, you know, just these two old people that are trying to get by after a nuclear annihilation happens. And then at the end of the movie, like, they put the sax on. It's just so horrible.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah. But really sad. I mean, Watership's Down is pretty sad, too. Wait, I interrupted somebody. Somebody was saying something.
We're talking about fucking Wallace and Gromit. Wallace and Gromit, yes, I don't know, just Wallace like, we're talking about British animation. Wallace and Gromit is one of the peak.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, Wallace is the Ubermensch. I mean, he does, well, no, he's not that, but it's very good, like, quality, like, short British. Like, I don't think much can top it for me, British animation-wise, just because there's a lot of, like, bullshit in Aardman and, like, nowadays I don't think it's nearly as good. Just like what I try and name something like more iconic for like British animation than Wallace and Gromit. It's just that flat. I know.
I mean, as far as
quality, do you have any experience with Red Wall? Do you have any
no, unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no.
Okay, they're really good. I recommend that.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, but Wallace will probably beat it because it's got that. It's basically British version of Tom and Jerry. It's that like fucking classic. It's not much that's been made.
Did you like the Were-Rabbit?
I didn't really remember. I think that's easily the worst out of the ones they've made. I don't remember too much about it. The others I remember. Like I know I've seen it.
Which one's your favorite? Because my favorite's the Robo Trousers.
Oh, the one that I just the one that I just watched with my mum. Classic. The train scene's one of the best fucking scenes.
Yeah.
Like, animation. It's just so.
Or they go to the moon.
The moon one's good. The moon one's good. I mean, they're all pretty good, but like the Wrong Trousers has that scene, the train.
Yeah.
Just like, I mean, if that has to be, was that nominated? It probably was, but if it wasn't,
it had to be. I think it was like either that one or the moon one was the one that's nominated.
Yeah. It's like classic.
I did like Mr. Bean. I know that's not an animation, but I mean it is an animation now. But back then that was like a real classic. I love the Mr. Bean Christmas special as well. When he when his girlfriend thought that he was gonna get her a diamond ring, but really he just got her like the thing that hooks the paint. You guys remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, and there was a scene that I believe was censored in the U.S. where Mr. Bean went to the furniture store and he wanted to get this couch, but this old lady was sitting on the couch. So he did some hacking, like he hacked the couch so that the remote control, when he presses it, starts to compress and just like destroy the old lady inside. So I guess they figured that was like too evil for him to do. Like to physically hurt somebody, but I don't know. It was still a funny scene. I enjoyed it.
I think for me, even there's a lot of things that I like. You know, I feel like talking about shit that I don't like way more interesting. You get like more of my fire out of me. When I
what don't you like? What don't you like?
There's plenty of shit. I don't know, like Coronation Street, Harry Hill. Fucking Harry Hill the movie.
Harry Hill? I've never heard of Harry Hill.
Harry Hill's so like Harry Hill the TV shows, whatever. Like if you like it, I'm not going to insult you. But the movie.
What about Benny Hill?
I don't know what Harry Hill is.
What about Benny Hill?
Benny Hill's like I haven't seen it, but I know the theme. Everyone knows the theme, whether they know the name or not. But there's just so much fucking rubbish on British like television. It's just ridiculous.
Well, when I was in Britain, they had a lot of reality TV, and it was some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
Oh,
like,
the British
have you ever seen a
reality
show called
TV is
Frat
like
Farm?
bearable though. Like, the sitcoms are worse when they try and be like snarky and like they think they're way more
Wait,
intelligent than they are.
Jules was on one of those British reality TV shows.
Oh my god, which one was he
Really?
on?
Yeah. Fuck. Wait, he said this. I don't remember now. Wait, Ewan, weren't you around when he was talking about the one that he was on?
No, I don't think I was. Which I was like I've not been like here for like full ones for a while. Like I've been here for like days. But...
All right, well, we'll find out. There was a
Okay.
British reality TV show that I remember seeing, like 4chan did posts about it, where like people were revealing themselves naked and like.
Wait, he was on Naked Attraction.
No. I'm just saying I remember that one. No, but he was naked though. I mean, there are naked pictures of Jules.
Oh,
on the
Gogglebox
internet.
is awful. Gogglebox is complete wank, by the way. If you like Gogglebox, like you're a fucking idiot. Gogglebox is they basically looked at YouTube and thought, oh, reaction content's popular. Let's make reaction content based upon bland TV
like
shows. And they're like really, and then none of them are funny, but like because the British like population as a whole is okay with fucking like mundane bullshit. It's just like, oh, let's have some mundane people who made like one dinner lady laugh one time. It's just like
I was at London. I was in London once, and there's nothing to do, so I was watching TV, and just the worst fucking show I ever saw.
What do you mean? There's nothing to do in London? What do you mean? London's like as much as London's like a bit of a
something
shit.
to do because I was waiting for someone. I was waiting for someone else.
Okay, fine.
And so
I found the
stuck in
show.
hotel
I found
room.
the show. Here is the show that Jules was on. It's called Made in Chelsea, NYC.
Oh, Made in Chelsea. That's like
Yeah.
that's quite a big program.
Yeah, 2014. And he
what
played
did they have to do?
himself. He played himself. He played Jules. So Made in Chelsea, NYC. Let me see if I can find some screenshots from here. But yeah, I think that's that was a pretty big show, right?
Yeah. Like I'm saying, like I've heard of it. I've not seen
here,
it.
here.
It's not
This is a
Skins
great-
level, but
Here is a
Not in
really
between
nice
level,
looking screenshot. Holy shit! I didn't even see this before. Look at this. Jules
yeah,
is
it's so-
fucking beautiful. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Hold on. It's loading. It's loading. Well, this
by
is
the
a
way,
really
what's up
big
with
file.
Jules? Like Jules like uses they them on his Twitter. He actually uses they and them. And shit.
No,
Like,
it's a joke. He's
well, I
just...
know, but I can't tell. Fucking tell. Because Jules is like kind of feminine, so it's like
Here,
I don't know.
check this out. Look at
Wow.
Ooh, very nice.
Looking good, Jules. If you're listening right now.
Pretty
that.
sharp.
Pretty classy. I don't know
Hopefully
about
I'll
these
fucking
shoes.
load.
I don't know about these shoes that this guy is wearing, like with no. I
On
don't
the
know.
left? Yeah.
Oh
what
yeah,
is
I
that?
didn't even notice.
Yeah,
None of
Jules
them are
is way
6'3".
Oh,
way
Fucking
classier.
embarrassing.
Why is he wearing high heels with no socks?
That's what it looks like. That's what.
What's he
What
wearing?
is it? What is
What's
that?
he wearing? No, this is wrong. No, he does. He's got the vacant Dino stare as well. I don't like it.
Oh,
It's
no.
scary. There's so much bad tea. I don't know if like Made in Chelsea's any good. It's probably like okay. And Jules just probably gives a decent performance. He seems like a decent actor, but like it's one of those reality TV programs, right? Or like
Well,
something similar.
he's got
but made in FX.
good stories about that. I mean, I'm gonna
Okay.
see like where
yeah,
is
let him
Jules
tell
right
him.
now? Let's see. Because I sent Jules the link. I always make sure. Okay,
Okay.
let's see. Okay, I'm not sure. He hasn't seen it. Okay, whatever. We'll figure that out because I want Jules to come on Christmas special time. I would love
Yeah.
for him to tell the that Chelsea story because it is a really really good story. And yeah, so we will get to the bottom of that, and also Hotep Sophia should be coming up as well. But
Awesome.
myself, tell me
Yeah.
about more things that you hate. I just want to hear
Well,
about
it's
things
just
you hate.
there's so many like fucking like bullshit. I could talk about my whole
Oh,
like school career, but I don't know. Like, let's talk about Harry Redknapp. 'Cause I'm fucking he's been on TV a few times, and he's just so boring. Like fucking all the. Okay, let's talk about this as a wider topic. Celebrity culture, right? Now, I'm not even talking about like Hollywood stars like Tom Cruise and stuff. Just like I'm a celebrity, get me out of it. Now, everyone knows this. They're fucking E-list celebrity. But it's the fact that if you win, I'm a celebrity, get me out of it. And this is what fucking annoys me. You basically get a golden ticket to be on like every trashy like sitcom. So it's just like people. When you win, I'm a celebrity, get me out of it. That's basically the equivalent of like winning like the popularity contest and like the fucking school lunchroom. where you just basically like get fucking spammed around everywhere, where I see you in real life and I see you on fucking Amazon Prime adverts doing nothing and going, I'm Harry Radknapp and I did something, and look at me, I'm in this football advert and I'm in this. It's like, fuck off. I know you want I'm a Celebrity, get me out of here through proxy. Fuck off. I have got ad blocks installed and you're still showing up. Fuck off. Anyway, that's one rant for you. I don't know. That's fucking incoherent.
Do you know the show? I have to ask you. Do you know the show Brat Farm? Have you ever watched the show Brat Farm?
Brat Farm?
No, I haven't watched Brat Farm.
Like with farts? Like a
no,
farm?
No, farm, not Brat Fart, like Brat Farm.
No, that's Brat.
Where bad kids have to go work on a farm.
Oh.
The dumbest show I had ever seen in my life.
No, I have not seen that. No.
It's just,
I remember there were so many shows like that.
It seems that most British reality TV is like that. And it was actually too stupid for me to watch.
Most British reality TV is like meant. You know the whole reality TV thing. Here's the big. This is basically the David Foster Wallace, theory, which I agree with. Is basically TV. A lot of it is designed for people to laugh at.
Okay, you know what? You know what? At Christmas time is calling. I have to vacate. I have to go.
Bless.
Mark, thank you so much for coming in, brother.
This is Morse code, but it's just.
Oh, it's Morse code. Oh, sorry about that.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yep.
Morse
just
code.
gonna have
Thank
to
you
go
so
here.
much
I wish
for coming
everyone
in.
a Merry Christmas. I wish everyone hopefully all their Christmas wishes come true.
Next time, I would love to see the costume.
Back to you, too.
Oh, please! I will get it working, and it'll be great.
Merry Christmas, my man.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a
Merry
good
Christmas.
Take care, Morse code.
Good night.
Take care, man.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So, myself.
Yeah.
What do you hate? Not a TV show.
Well, no, but it's just I don't know. There's just this like whole. I feel like when I'm talking about TV and disliking, I'm not sure like how much actually like is worth doing, because I like watching shit TV sometimes. I think a lot of people in England.
I get that,
But it's like
I like watching. Well, I like watching cringe videos. Is there anything like that?
Well, it's not quite like watching cringe, but there's no fucking. It's not really worthwhile to like slag off TV. It's worthwhile to slag off a movie.
Well, like I watch a lot of Family Guy, and I hate that show just because it's great background noise. So I'm often like drawing while Family Guy's in the background.
But that's like, really bad. Don't fucking do shit like that, man. That's basically how fucking like people do. What is it? I don't know. His name's Khalid, I think. But he does that with like shit in the TV and background. He's a fucking. I don't want to call him brain dead, but he's not the smartest person.
Wait,
and when
Khalid,
you put
is that
TV
the
on
rapper?
in the background, you fucking not actual Khalid. It's the same name, but you fucking mind wash. Like you just mind wash yourself. You don't give yourself room to think by like having this extra noise on.
I disagree. Sometimes I'll work with some ridiculous stuff in the background and it just helps me get into flow. Or I'll play video games and work pretty much simultaneously because you want to distract your mind so you can get into flow state.
Yeah, I kind of get that, but I'm talking about like bad TV. I'm not talking bland, I'm talking bad.
I can function without Family Guy in the background. Speaking of which, have you guys like been aware of the recent online presence of Family Guy? Because I've come to the conclusion that the show itself isn't funny, but making memes about the show and just referencing the show is very funny.
Oh, Family Guy is one of those blank canvas cartoons. I agree with you, man. It's just like making edits. It's one of the many things where it's like past its sell-by date, so you fucking put a funny face.
I watched some of those edits and those are funny, but I've never seen the actual show on its own.
Yeah, like the edits are great, and the edits are funnier if you've seen the show. Because of like recent Family Guy, because the thing I've noticed about recent Family Guy is that the writers actually gave up because no one wants to be on the show anymore because it's running too long, but Fox needs the show for the ratings. So they can literally do whatever they want. Like they don't have to put effort into it. So it's actually really surreal in a way that's kind of entertaining, a sort of kind of sick way to see like how little of shit they give.
By the way, good point about the Guts theme. That's what I also used when I run around. So, like I put the sneakers on and I run and I just listen to the Guts theme on repeat as I keep running, and it's nice.
That's
by the way, someone
reading the manga with it. Listening to the soundtrack of Berserk from the 90s show, listening to the Susumu Hirasawa soundtrack while reading the manga is the best way to go.
Interesting.
That's what I've been doing recently. Yeah, it's been really good.
I'd just like to say to someone, I just like to say, Buff in the chat, I do not watch fucking QI on Sherlock Holmes. Fuck that. That shit's I feel like people who watch like shit like that are like worse than the people who like watch Brain Dead.
Also, someone in the chat wants our best streaming impression.
Yeah, we'll give the stream impressions in a sec, but fucking QI is like just is it panel shows or wank, man? It's just like people sniffing their own farts. Anyway, Stewie impressions.
Wank. I love the fact that British people use that term, wank.
Nonce and wank, yes.
Nonce.
I mean, I use it a lot.
Do you watch the Nonce Hunter shows?
Oh, they're like really depressing though, because it's just like watching one man's like spiral into destruction. I can't watch it. It's just like, it's funny at first, but then you just realize that it's just like this man is like basically given up, and it's just like this soul, like probably literally soulless person, just like blankly staring into the camera, talking like, "I didn't do it, but you did," and just these people like bullying him, like he's a worthwhile target for bullying. But you know what I mean? It's still bullying. It's like the best.
I just like the name Brannigan. I don't remember his first name.
Oh
but
no.
there's a guy
people, I do not. I'm going to be branded as a Chihuahua, but I'm not. We could talk about Zach. But maybe that's for later. Anyway,
is that his? Wait, what is his full name? Something Brannigan. Because I always think of Zap Brannigan from Futurama when I hear the name Brannigan.
No, Zach. Zach's someone different. I don't know who Brannigan is.
Well, that's the Nonce Hunter guy.
No, I know, but sorry, I thought you were talking about someone else, like Brannigan.
No, I'm gonna take a look at that. Let's see, Brannigan, because that's such a rare surname. Brannigan, Nonce. Let's see.
Brannigan, Nonce. Oh, I see.
Shane.
One of the Nonce people.
Shane. That's it. Shane Brannigan. Brannigan. That's a nice sounding name, right? Like Shane and Brannigan.
But he's a nonce. That's a nice sounding. It's very English.
Yeah.
He's a nonce?
No, he's the Nonce Hunter.
Oh.
Oh, I see. Sorry. I was about to say, someone with a name like Shane Brannigan is probably not a nonce, so.
Yeah, exactly.
But even the word nonce is very interesting because it sounds like nonsense, like like what's the origin of it?
What nonce? I don't know.
Yeah.
You're expecting like the Anglo to understand their like history. Like
it's
I don't look at Latin.
It's like a silly nanny, something like that. It's like.
Oh, by the way, the end of the fucking world I thought was like okay, but it's not something I would like encourage. It's like whatever. It's like there's plenty shows like it. Just my lukewarm take.
And Shock 1999 says there's some British show I just started watching.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah.
The end of the fucking world. Ah, okay, I see.
I mean, the censoring of the title was already bad enough. You kind of get the gist from that. It's like fine, but it's a bit edgy. I've only seen the first season. I don't intend to watch more.
Interesting. So, guys, I'm not sure what exactly is happening. I think I'm going to check on Hotep Sophia to see if she's coming, but it may be that we are going to be drawing this to a conclusion. But any final Christmas thoughts, Christmas wishes for any?
Presents. I forgot. What do you guys think about presents? Because I think presents are a bit of an interesting subject around Christmas. Because it's like
I think it's just a good thing to make people you like happy and have them make you happy too. I think like we should.
Yeah, but it's like there's like a problem of like not wanting like the amount you should spend and what you should get.
Okay,
I find that really hard.
It's total bullshit to be like, oh, you don't love me, you didn't give me enough. That I totally agree with.
Well, no, but it's not like that's not really like it though, because it's like especially when you grow up and your parents like give you like certain amount of gifts. I feel like there's not really an expectation for me to give that amount back. But then it's like part of me wants to be like, well, you've given me all of these over the years. I want to be like,
I don't know. I'm a very pragmatic person. So right now, I kind of tell people not to get me presents because it's like I only want one thing in life. And I want to buy it with my money,
Yeah, but the problem is when you do that, that's like the woman thing, though. You tell like I don't think like some people understand that if you do that, like that makes you think, oh, he wants gifts, but he doesn't really want to say that he wants gifts. But you genuinely don't.
I'm super explicit about it. I haven't received any gifts from anyone because of that.
Oh no, but but you're not in England though. There's an English thing with like women, where it's like if you say that, then it's like some expectation where you kind of should get them gifts still, but then it's like, I don't want anything too big. It's like, you don't need to get me.
I wasn't aware of that. For me, it's like, I basically like sat my family down. It's like there's one thing I want, and I know where it is, and I'm gonna get it for myself.
Oh no, if you give something specific, then the rule doesn't apply. But if you're not specific, then there will be an assumption that
I do feel kind of bad when people give me presents, though. I kind of prefer to get them for myself or other people.
Well, I don't know. Gifts of what I did for this year, right? Is I decided to do some. Let me switch to fucking live rather than. I decided to do drawing for people this year. I decided to do everyone a drawing in the family.
Nice.
And rather than like going through the fucking I got them like a little extra thing as well, because it's nice to have something temporary with Christmas, I feel, as a present. And it's just like you consume something, but I feel like drawing's a good thing to do. What did you guys give your gift people? And what have you given? I'm curious.
I got my wife a Kenwood and got a cast iron log cutter as displayed on the picture. But mostly nowadays, Christmas and presents are just for the kids.
Yeah.
It's nice to get them. Yeah, but you got to get a little something sometimes.
My cousin had a baby, so I got her a book and a stuffed toy.
Oh, cool.
That's good.
That's nice.
Well, we don't really celebrate Christmas, or rather, our Christmas is New Year's, because like in Russia and the USSR, that was more of the tradition of Novy God, as they call it. So that's kind of like all encompassing both Christmas and New Year.
You do people drawing? This is the first year I've done it, but that sounds like someone with a bit more experience than I am with drawing. Like if you did drawings for people, I bet they love it. You do maybe not your 8-year-old drawings, but like your drawings now, right?
Yeah,
laminate a piece of Be great.
No, that is a good idea. I mean, right now, just to be honest, Buff says, did Lev give everyone in his family a furry drawing for Hanukkah?
Oh no.
That's so amazing. Imagine combining that, by the way, like Orthodox Jewish furries. Like with the wolf suit, but with the hat and the the swirlies.
Need the Sneed in like a priest outfit, like the fat snarler Sneed, but the fucking Sneed thing. They just tie all that like awfulness together, like Sneed with the collar.
And by the way,
wait. Sneed, yeah, exactly, Sneed, yeah. Merry Sneedmas.
Merry Sneedmas, yeah, Nala Sneed. It's about time for me to post Sneed Nala, but no.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, by the way, if there were to be a circumcision for furries, would that be circumcising the sheath? Like, what are we talking about here?
Well, no, because they have regenerative magic foreskins that can warp people. So I don't know how you even test that.
Oh, you're talking about Pompoko, which was produced by Studio Ghibli.
Tanukis are awesome. I love Tanukis. They can actually beat people to death with their enormous nutsacks.
Is there
Furries should be neutered, not circumcised.
Oh man, imagine, by the way, another sci-fi scenario where Cyberpunk, like I always say, one thing that Cyberpunk 77 is missing is furries, because at that point you don't need the fursuits anymore, because you could just
say you're a furry. You need to. Your pronouns are fur and furpy. That's what you are, fucking Lev. You're a furry.
All right, Ewan. Here's the thing. Let me make this nice, like they said in Clockwork Orange. I'm gonna make this nice and sparkling clear.
Okay.
The reason why Princess Sally is something that appeals to me is because she has a very female face. When it comes to a lot of the furries, they end up going into more of this wolf, with the muzzle and all this other stuff. At that point, it's not just like a cartoon babe. It just becomes this. It's not Lola Bunny anymore.
No, but it's not just Princess Sally. It's not just her. It's your general obsession with furries and vor and it's a bit of an ironic furry. That's what I'm saying. Like an ironic weird.
That obsession. Okay. That obsession comes from the fact that we are living at a very interesting time with the internet, and the fact that these things exist is it's very hilarious. It's very
hilarious. I'm completely on the same wavelength as Lev, because I've talked about Mike and Melissa before on the show, right? And that's my favorite cringe videos, Mike and Melissa.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen that, Mike and Melissa.
No, but it keeps coming back with Eleven. It's just this kind of, it must be some fucking Jungian bullshit or something, like the dream dimension.
I don't think it's Jungian. I just think Lev knows how to talk.
No, that's what I mean. He needs to be some Jungian.
Interesting. At the very least, it's interesting.
I know it is. No, I agree. I'm not trying to
It's all
talking about it.
It's attached. It's attached. I think to all of us to a certain extent.
Yeah,
just like the Pepes and the Wojacks, and we are just all a part of this.
I'm not part of the Wojacks.
No,
I'm not part of the Wojacks.
I do art on Twitter, so that's just who I have to interact with. So there's that too.
Yeah. we become whatever we're around with to a certain extent. So I could definitely see why growing up and seeing that show and all that, like, what else did a lot of kids have? Because I mean, sure, like they had they had The Rock. You remember well, they used to have like The Rock ice cream. I remember the girls.
You mean like Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Yeah.
Dwayne, yeah. So wrestling still is a huge part of my life. I still love wrestling.
Yeah. But like there were some kids who were into wrestling and some kids who were into Sonic.
It's okay to be into Sonic, man. It's just like one of these things where I don't know. I feel like what we need to do, Lev, is there's like two options. We need a full-on like thesis about your like a full-on not thesis but like an essay, your experiences with the furry fandom and shit like that. Or we need to get you a prostitute who dresses up like Princess Acorn, and we need you to get those feelings out. Get them out. You bust your nut once.
What we need is a necromancer. We need a necromancer to go to that Sally doll, the one that's made out of a fucking skeleton, and to resurrect it.
Oh no!
Oh, that's fucking. No. I mean, yes, but no. Yeah. Yes, but no.
That person must have done something hard. That's their punishment. They're in hell. That's their punishment.
Well, I think one of the worst hells would be that farm that the Chinese built. They built like this tall, like almost like a city unto itself, pig farm, and the stench could be smelled from miles away or something, and that is horrible. That is a hell. Like imagine being that poor
in Dante, the gluttonous are sentenced to a place just like that. If you're gluttonous, you have to roam around and shit.
Yeah. I mean, why do we assume that hell necessarily has to be like some place on the ground or in like some fiery dimension? Maybe reincarnation works in such a way that we experience hell sometimes on this very planet by just living a really shitty existence.
That's kind of the Gnostic view of looking at things, is that we're all in hell because what we're experiencing is a lesser, like we're not in God's creation right now, we're in a lesser creation. And
in that sense, everything is like a relative hell. Something else.
Yeah.
But that makes sense. I mean, it would be nice to think like I do want to have a stream later on about the afterlife and talk about by the way, I really hope my microphone quality has not been annoying today.
No, it's perfect. It's just fine over here.
It's fine. It's just occasionally I feel like what's happened before is you've spoken really close to the microphone like this and it peaks.
Right, yes.
Like I don't think it's anything wrong with
you. Stop trying to bore us.
Stop trying to Vora. Yes.
Wait, who's getting bored? What?
This entire stream's getting fucking bored.
No.
Wait, by the way, there do exist these cameras that you can swallow like pills, like you swallow.
That's like doctors use them.
Yeah, but I wonder, could we like get one for the stream and like have a volunteer eat one and just have the
I mean, I could eat. I'd probably be fine eating one, like, especially if you don't have to. Like, it requires fasting. That's fine with me. But I just don't really know you'd like. You wouldn't get much out of that because there's already like footage of it. I don't know. Like,
well, would you see like the stomach acid? Like, what would you see?
No, I don't know. Like but you see it. You just like see the throat and you see the stuff, and it's all. But you have to like. You don't just swallow it. You have to like choke on it. Basically, I've got to not do like this on the fucking street. It's like like a piece of string, and you gotta like swallow the camera. But unless they like swallowed marbles or something weird as well.
Like my cat, and I gotta watch him, but sometimes he would swallow like some string, and then it would come out of his butt, and we have to be like really careful, taking it out. You know what I mean? Am I the only person who experiences this?
What, taking the string out of your grandpa's bum? What you thought? I must have missed something.
Cat, not.
Oh, okay. So your grandpa's cat. I don't want to take the string out of your grandpa's bum. That's weird. That's fucking weird.
Oh my god! But imagine this. Imagine like having the string being eaten by the cat, but then it's a long string, and then given to another cat, and then another, and then another, and then you can make a necklace out of it.
You don't need to buy a necklace. The cat makes the necklace for you.
Exactly.
I mean, that sounds like a very fucked version of Human Centipede, but for a certain furry in this stream who is a closet furry. Furry.
Or you could do it with grandpas, I guess. You could do it with grandpas or grandmas.
Oh, no, grandpa,
no. Please do a biopunk episode, because I always want an excuse to talk about biopunk. Because this could be the biopunk future.
Is this somehow a more cringe version of steampunk?
It is way more cringe. Because the idea is like it's organ, like we manufacture, we genetically engineer organs, and the organs work on an assembly line, and they make like just how you're talking about butthole strings, like the intestines perfectly make strings, and like essentially the idea is using organs, genetically engineering organs, to turn them into factory parts, to turn them into machines, like organic.
But does it look as cringe as steampunk? Like,
oh no, no, it looks like well, no, it looks like H.R. Geiger. It's like stuff in jars and like organs and stuff like that. Or well, actually, like the best examples of biopunk are like the parts of the first Pokemon movie where Mewtwo's in the jar.
Yeah.
Neon Genesis Evangelion, where it has a lot of like bioorganic stuff. Shin Godzilla by Hideaki Anno. Like anything biomechanical is biopunk. That's what biopunk refers to. Anything biomechanical.
So would Akira be an example of biopunk
Definitely.
as far as the
that
final?
That would 100% be biopunk.
Look,
with obviously with cyberpunk thrown in there. Because
this
talking
term
about
is incredibly whack. Don't ever say biopunk. It's so whack. You're becoming more whack every time you say it. Don't do it.
Exactly. Thank you. Amen. Amen to Aman. Amen.
What's wrong with biopunk? Like, tell me what's wrong with biopunk. I think it's cool.
It's simply whack, sir. I can't tell you more.
Whack.
I just like organic shit. I like mutant like evolving into.
Well, that's what they that's what by they I mean that's what Helios Logos thinks was up with Atlantis, where he talks about how the reason why we can't find any evidence of it was because they used like organic matter
that's
to
what I'm
create
talking
their.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
dude, what if real life was like Bioshock, bro? What if real life was like Bioshock, bro?
I'm personally even more interested in the what may be giant trees. You know, like we have mesas. Like there are people who think that the mesas and like Devil's Rock, that those are actually tree stumps.
Mesas.
MES.
So I just don't know what they are. Like, I'm not
Mesa,
trying to like call you on pronunciation.
Or Mesa.
Just what are they? It's whatever they are.
It's like if you ever looked in it's like in South America, there are these structures. They're like a mountain, but it's like completely flat on top.
Like, well, the Nazca lines are a bit like that, I guess. Oh, they relate to the Nazca lines.
I mean, people say that it has something to do with volcanic activity, but has there ever been, like, as far as Devil's Rock goes, has there ever been any volcano that has, let's say, solidified into these hexagonal shapes? Here, I'll show you the shapes. Devil's Rock. Well, first of all, do all you guys know what Devil's Rock looks like?
Yeah.
Kind of.
So here, I'm going to post an example of a Devil's Rock tree. You know, they're like, fact check, Devil's Rock National Monument. Okay, you get the idea. You know, there are all these debunkers out there ruining our fun. But I really think that there is something
Have you got the data on that, Lev? Sorry, have you got the data on that? Sorry. You're not allowed to speak unless you've got the level 5 data pass for that. Sorry, have you got the data on that?
So here's the image. For those who don't know, this is Devil's Rock right over here. And I want to show the actual
it's like a giant tree that just got like
I'm telling you, yeah.
It looks like a tree stump.
Okay, so Devil's Rock, let's see, Pentagon, is it Pentagon? Is it Hexagon? Hexagon. What is going on? Who is that talking in the background?
It's Martin, I think.
Can he come on the stream? Would Martin want to join us?
No, Martin's. No, it's not me. It's not. I'm saying Martin's the one with the person in the background.
Oh, okay, I see. All right.
I mean, I'd ask if my parents are awake, I'd like ask them if they wanted to join, but I don't think my mum. My sister might. My mum is like pretty camera shy.
So this is the formation over here of Devil's Rock. This is just like a close up of it, and I have never seen volcanoes work this way. I mean, again, like I am no scientist.
I actually made some Devil's Tower art, Devil's Rock art. It's also called Devil's Tower.
Nice. I would love to see it. Do you have it here?
Yeah, I do. I'm just gonna pull it up right now.
Oh, nice.
And it's
Wait, are you doing the screen share or how do you?
I'm gonna post in the BTR-chat. Actually, no, this is the BTR-chat.
We can't post images in the BTR chat anymore, can we?
No, you can't. Here's the thing. I'm giving everybody the ability to post images back.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do it. Like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna do it right now for everybody.
You just gotta create a role, Lev.
In sushi bar,
Just create a role where
I
like
do have
people who you trust.
I do have a role that I created, and this is what I'm doing. See, it's
okay,
called
yeah,
Citizen.
okay.
Citizen. This is the role for people. So actually, let me do that for you right now. So Corpse Carter, let me find you, and let me give you the role.
I'm Millennium Hirano on the server. I'm Millennium Hirano.
Can you post a message just on the BTR chat, and then I'll quickly just turn you into the Citizen. And by the way, anybody who wants to be Citizen, just let me know. Again, this is just a gate. There we go. Oh no, that's myself. So very, very handsome looking rock there.
It's got the face app. I like the face app a lot. The face app.
Yes. So Corpse Carter, I am ready when you are here for.
It's posted right
here
there.
we go. Perfect. Okay. So
now I'm just gonna find the image.
Nice looking wolf. Here we go. I don't know what all these new roles here. Okay, now you can post.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. I just need to find the image now.
Yes, so for those who don't know, Corpse Carter, he is an amazing artist, very beautiful work, and a proud member of the BTR community. And I really do think we are growing as a community. And, well, wait, is that your face?
Yeah, that's my face on one of the
God.
fucking whatever it is. I don't know what the original one was called, but the fucking face app's weird. It's got like all the face app stuff is good. I would recommend. I don't want to like shill for it because it's got ads, so you know. I don't know.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah, just looks. I think that was one of the ones where it worked the best because it just worked. It like fucking high face, man.
So, the magma feeds its photosynthesis and takes millennia to resprout. Interesting. That's about the way that the hexagon shapes form as far as the volcano goes. I mean, that's interesting. Again, like, I'm just talking about it like, as if I know anything. I don't know anything about these strange-looking formations that look like trees. But I like the idea that there may have once been these giant trees and giant people and all that. Oh, man, look at this.
Have we discussed the idea of, like, Nephilim and giant human beings before, and then, bone findings of giant humans?
Well,
My ancestors.
Yes, exactly. Aman Sadhu, 6'3".
Very blessed.
Hell yeah. By the way, Aman, were you always tall, like as a child? Were you
Yeah, I had an early growth spurt, and then I just I played all the tall guy sports, and life was good.
Nice. Basketball, right?
Basketball, volleyball.
There we go.
Those are the tall guy sports I know of.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't swim, so maybe I'm black secretly. Maybe my bone density is too high. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Can you trace your origins back to a certain place in India?
Sindus River, that's where Sandhus come from. And then both of my families, they are pretty old families, both landowner families. Like,
nice. Oh, by the way, look at this illustration.
Yeah, so in the background of the image is Devil's Tower. The piece is called
that is beautiful.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you. It's a very old piece. It's I drew it like maybe 4 years ago.
Nice. So, Aman, as far as landowners go, is landowners that a particular caste, or is there different castes and landowners, or how does that work?
I think it's like one of the middle castes they would be in, but like 6 are slightly separate, but not really. I don't really know how it all works, except that like I'm from 2 light-skinned families, and light-skin is just higher caste generally in India. So that was good for me.
That's like a Kareena Kapoor. She would also be around the same.
Yeah. If you look fair, like people are very interested and respectful, and like if you're white and you go to India, people are gonna be really nice to you. That's just how it is.
There was a video that I saw of this guy motorcycling around India, and I mean, look, I don't want to shit on India because I'm sure it's a really beautiful place, but it has certain things that I mean, maybe this was an old video, I don't know, but it does have certain things that could be worked on as far as the infrastructure goes. I mean,
Dude,
it's probably
India's a mess, man. It's all right. You can say it. I mean, come on, dog. It is. It ain't good.
Are you from India, or man? Sorry, you from India?
I mean, yes, I'm clearly Indian. You can hear my accent. It's very thick.
No, I can't. Honestly, I can't.
You don't sound Indian.
You can't hear my Indian inflection, sir.
No,
I can hear it.
I can hear
it. You cannot hear my Indian nature. It's right here.
Now I can hear it.
Havi, changa.
I mean, you definitely got it a little bit, but it's just like the fact that a lot of Indians I've heard generally have it quite heavy. So I'm just like, when I hear someone with an actual like nuanced accent, you know what I mean? It's like, we're like, no.
I'm good at picking up languages and accents quickly. I think because of singing, so then I can kind of change my accent. Like if I go live in a different country, I'll pick up the accent really quickly. And even like I was in Ireland for a bit, and then I kind of had an Irish accent for a bit. It's kind of funny. I don't know.
So this is Kareena Kapoor, and she's like she looks pretty white, like as far as the skin color goes. So like she would be, I guess, in the that group that you talked about. And she voiced a character for Roadside Romeo. Do you guys know Roadside Romeo?
No, but it sounds bad from just the name.
Well, no, it's actually pretty fun. So Roadside Romeo was actually a Walt Disney produced movie, which hold on. I mean, this is actually funny that we're talking about this, considering what Roadside Romeo is.
Is Roadside Romeo by any way have any like pregnant furry characters in it, like giving birth and eating each other?
Wait. Hold on. I gotta find a bigger image before I. Wait, Aman, do you know what I'm talking about? Aman?
Roadside Romeo?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I've only seen like the old classic Bollywood movies, which are really good.
Okay,
I
well,
recommend that. They'll say Raid. They'll say is very good.
This is a Bollywood movie too, you could say. But here it is. Here is Roadside Romeo. Hold on. Scroll. Here it is. Roadside Romeo.
Oh yeah, of course, furry characters. There you go. There you go. Why am I not surprised?
And you see this this
I've
girl
never
over here?
heard of this.
Kareena Kapoor voices her.
Is
this a fucking?
Kareena Kapoor done fell off. She fell off. Damn.
Yeah. So this is Kareena Kapoor. This is her, and this is who she's voicing. Well, this is back in 2006.
I guess I would bang that dog. I suppose.
Well, you are living in Canada, so.
That's life. Sometimes you gotta be furry.
There's like a level of it where I can like accept it, but this is like too bad. It's like oh furry, you know. It's like when it's like
I see nothing attractive about that dog.
You were talking about pregnant. The dude over here on the right, he looks kind of pregnant.
Yeah. Well, of course he does. Look
Ewan, are you telling me you wouldn't rub that big dog belly and just get your lips right up in there?
No, but it's like the rest of the body's too like dog-like. It doesn't. Just because you give like fucking fuck me look. You're rubbing a belly's different than fucking. Like, that would be weird. I would get weirded out to do it.
You remember that episode of South Park with the dog when Carpenter was like, Red Rocket.
Fucking South Park.
Yeah. Oh man, dogs.
I like how Hotep Sophia's like managed to like save herself in this conversation. Like, this is too much for me. Like with the last time, just like this is too much for me right now. Well,
oh yeah, Byzantium Archon says, "I bet Amon lives in Vancouver."
I mean, nobody knows if I'm even real. Do I exist?
That's true.
I don't know.
You post a lot though, but then again, AIs can post a lot and AIs can speak. So you know, I don't know.
I'm the greatest AI of all time. I'm 6'3". That's just how it is, you know.
I mean, an AI that's so proud about its height. I mean, that's progressive. No AI before has cared about their height other than a man. So this is impressive. Yeah, good shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got one question. We're gonna prove whether you're an AI or not right now. Okay, so, how much wood could woodchuck chuck a woodchuck could chuck wood? This is the AI question. Go.
6.
Well,
6.
I don't know. That's no. I can't decide from just that. Unfortunately, there's usually a clear way. If the AI is like way too quick, then you know that's an AI. But if they're like, you know, they give like a jokey response, and you can usually tell they're not an AI. But you gave like a 6 a bit too late. I can't tell. Someone else help me.
I was also chatting though, so you gotta understand. My response had a bit of latency due to multitasking.
Well, yeah, but then you're like
were
playing
split.
the in-between role, like you're an AI that's trying to pretend to be human, but also not pretend to be. This is too advanced. It's like, who's your creator? Go.
My creator is none other than the great and powerful Amon Sandu. I don't even know how I said my own name there.
Wait, you created yourself. That's like the Ubermensch, right? So you created yourself. Then AI that created this.
Wait, what does sadhu mean? Does it mean
possible
to pray?
Sandhu is named after the river Sindhus. So Sandhu, Sindhus River. And there's also other people called Sidhu, and that's kind of the same thing. It's like the same root, village and family, you could say.
Interesting. And your family, can it trace like itself back over many generations? Like, is all of that kept track of, or not really?
We have good tracking. But a lot of families don't anymore. There's a lot of sort of weird aberrations, and then people who got kind of excommunicated from original lines for certain transgressions, which may or may not be a good thing. I'm not sure. But I'm from an older sort of lineage.
I'd be very interested in having you on with Indian Bronson. Have you spoke with Indian Bronson before?
No, I've seen his stuff. He used the Amitabh Bachchan kind of profile pic, which I respect. But he works in tech and stuff. I don't know. And also he's very black pilled, and I'm white pilled. And I don't know. I disagree with a lot of what he thinks, like his analyses.
Well, that's what he'd be good to speak to.
I like him a lot, but I also disagree a lot because he's way too technocratic and non-vital, basically.
Boff really knows how to push my buttons. Jesus Christ! Every post, it's just like an attack on my. It's he's trying to call me a blank defender. I don't want to say that word for some reason. But, you know, I can say packing. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh no, I'm not really a defender on immigration. But let's not ruin this Christmas stream of immigration talk. Come on.
Yeah,
oh yes, it's Christmas time. Let's talk about immigration.
It's Christmas time. Let's talk about Russian geopolitics.
Many Indians in other countries don't like more Indians coming.
I grew up with so many Indians and Pakistanis. It was like 20% of my youth school was Pakistani, and yeah. It was always funny watching the Indians having problem when they came straight from India, watching the Pakistanis in the eye because they were high caste and Pakistani always low caste.
Wait, say that again. So the Pakistani were low caste, but who was high caste?
Indians.
Oh,
Indian immigrators to Europe are usually high caste, and Pakistani usually farming low class, like serfs,
interesting, yeah.
basically.
Well, I remember like when Shabana, and I hope Shabana comes here on the show soon.
Muslim hate in a lot of the communities too, just because a lot of stuff went down. You got to understand, there's a long history of shit going down.
Very long.
Even the Hindus, like, I mean, I could hold a grudge against the Hindus too, but I just don't. But I very easily could. I know a lot of people who do. So that's why a lot of the Sikhs are more chilled out, because in India, we're a minority, right? Tiny minority, yet we still have some degree of power there. But essentially, it's like it's either the Muslims or the Hindus, and you know, nobody respects someone the same way they respect someone who's their own. And so we kind of know. Maybe we're like Jews. Who knows? That's kind of like a Jewish thing too.
Well, one thing that the Orthodox Jews, one problematic situation that they have, which I've heard from people who were born in Pakistan, that it's a problem there too, has to do with the very close blood between between marriage, so their kids end up having physical and mental problems through that kind of inbreeding process. And
many such cases.
Yeah.
True,
yeah. And it's sad, because it's like there are these communities of these Orthodox Jews that just like they live in their own enclosure. They don't like talking to strangers, and the problem is there, and they're ignoring it. Like, because this is something that could be, and maybe some do try to like do DNA tests and just figure something out, but it is, it is a big problem in both of these communities. So I wonder if a lot of it is also done to like preserve the family, so to speak, to like keep everything in one place.
There's a lot of stupid stuff that goes on with like intersexual relations. Like India is so bad at romance. This is why Indian guys are like generally the worst for women.
Bob's
Yeah,
and
Bob's
Vagine.
and Vagine, exactly. But I mean, it's just such a bad culture for love, and the guys and the girls are both pretty awful generally. So if you're exceptional at all, it becomes very,
Okay.
very easy
Here's
today.
the thing.
at
I've only
least.
heard about men being bad in Indian culture. How are the women bad? I'm curious. I only hear about the bobs and vagines. I want to hear about the dicks and the ass. I don't know. Whatever.
Look, here's the basic fact, right? Like most Indian women are not hot, and then if the one is hot, she's disproportionately much hotter than everyone else. So then it creates kind of like a huge status advantage. And then Indian guys are simps, so they get so much simping energy, and they become very spoiled. And then it creates a very bad cycle. And then on the other hand, the Indian guys who are higher caste, they think they can just fucking do whatever they want. And there's also a lot of rape and like soft rape, I guess you could say, soft prostitution, weird stuff that happens. So it's just not healthy. Like none of it is healthy.
Yeah, I know none of it's
and
healthy.
much arrogance and
yeah.
so on and so forth.
I love this image, by the way, of Justin Trudeau. Is he wearing like a traditional Sikh outfit, or what's going on here, Aman?
He's a traditional
That's like a
wanker.
Ramal.
Yeah.
So you wear that in the temple if you don't have a pagga turban. That's just what you do. Something
I think
I'm not
this
really
is a
sure
great
why.
opportunity for a great reset. I'm Justin Trudeau. I think great reset. Trust God, fucking politicians. Don't trust any of them. Simple as. I'd be the only good politician because I would just kill the Queen and then I'd be done. That's all I would do. Just
wait, you don't have respect. You don't have respect for the Queen. What kind of
no?
what
I
kind
don't.
Of British
I
person
don't.
are you?
I'm a fucking. I'm no one really. No one who has like dignity respects like any politician. Like, well, that's not quite true, but you know
But
what I mean.
is she
It's just
a
fucking-
politician as much as a figurehead who's supposed
Well,
to?
I
Like,
just I
work-
feel like if you kill the Queen, you just like I just imagine if like
You
whoever
become the
would kill the Queen, you just become the king. I know it doesn't work like that, but you
Well,
gain
it
a lot,
works
a lot
like
of respect
Highlander, right?
from
Like
me.
if you kill the queen, you absorb all the souls that she's eaten.
All the souls she's eaten.
Yeah.
But the Queen isn't the one in the royal family that's the problem. It's all of the fucking underlings she has, like all of the fucking like Prince Harry types, and the fact that if you're related to the royal family and you do something like a bit risky, you get all the tabloids on you, wasting everyone's time.
Well, now we got
hold on.
Meghan Markle who wants to be a Disney princess or something. I'm not exactly sure what's going down there. And was it worth it for Harry to lose his whole what is it called? The Dominion of Heaven or whatever the fuck.
Right
I
of
don't know.
rule.
Yeah, like, his brother is now going to be king, but Harry, what has he got?
Mandate of heaven. That's what you're talking
Mandate
about.
of heaven. Yes.
Mandate.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, this whole woke culture with, like, I see what Meghan Markle is trying to get into, like this much more controlled woke culture. It's not like the rabid SJWs, but it's close and it panders to them. And that's the best way that I can
almost
describe
more
it.
insidious. It's like neoliberal kind of milquetoast values, and like by not portraying themselves as radical, it makes their views seem more acceptable, which in a way is more insidious. But the foaming at the mouth, like college types, like it's really easy for them to like turn people off to leftism. But if you're like more quiet about it, more subtle about it, you can kind of kind of make these ideas more palatable.
Well, I guess it goes back to what we were talking originally today on how many steps are required to actually go into, a very dystopian situation. And I don't know the answer to that. I know what it would look like. This is something that Gio talked about, like the favelas and all that. So I know what it looks like. Now the question is, are the steps already being taken, or are these, like, the other thing that I lean on here is I see the establishment as being something that, while it sets a tone, it also does certain things to appease the crybabies, and then it turns on them, and the leftist crybabies forget every single fucking year, and they end up falling for the trap every single fucking year.
Yeah,
So
the left eats their own.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just say this on dystopias before I go, because I'm just basically being loud and I kind of keep my sister away. So you know, but just how utopias are. Utopias basically it's like an impossible idea, right? You know about that, right, Lev? It's not like a real. The Latin for utopia means like impossible to reach or something like that. But dystopias for me are the same thing, because I don't think like even if shit gets worse, right, people will like fucking adapt it, and it's like whatever's gonna happen is just like, even with like living favelas or some bullshit, humans are gonna like fucking ignore the government and shit. They're gonna do what they want, like even if shit goes to shit, in Libya or whatever, blah 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 blah. People prevail. Anyway, I should really go, because otherwise I'm gonna keep my sister awake, and I'm loud. I can't.
Does your sister ever want to come on the stream in the future? By the way.
Well, she wouldn't be coming on here, because I do usually be around, and honestly, the fact that I'm being loud would probably make her to not be a good appearance. So I don't want to put her in it.
Later on, I would love for her to come in
late.
if she wants to. Next time, I would love for your sister to come
Yes.
in.
Okay. No. Okay. Fine. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to go. Hold on.
Great seeing you, Ewan. Take care. Merry Christmas.
Take care. Merry Christmas, Ewan. Oh man, Ewan's great. Ewan's the best. But like I said before, I want to get all my ducks in a row about this. There are still so many books that I have to read, and sure, I understand that everything is going to come from books. But guys, send me articles, send me books, send me all the information about Israel.
Where can I actually send you this? Like, is this Discord or the chat?
She's 17, by the way, Lev. So
you could just send it to my email. I mean, or DM me on Twitter, whatever's best.
I got you, because it's a long title, so I know for a fact I'm going to forget. So I'm just going to send you this.
Yeah. She was just being grumpy to me then, because I'm being loud, which I shouldn't be doing.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
Anyway, I gotta go. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Take care. Merry Christmas.
Take care. Yeah, so it's just the 5 of us left right now. I don't know if Hotep Sophia is coming in. I'm going to check. Because I did want to see her on Christmas. I know that there was some concert thing she was also doing. Let me take a look at this. And by the way, if any one of you motherfuckers have not subscribed yet, I swear to God, we are growing thanks to your help. We are going to have amazing guests coming in. We are going to have, here's who we are going to have. For all the new people who are just checking up on us right now and seeing what's crack-a-lackin', I want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas. Wishing the best to your friends, your family, all your loved ones. Anyway, here's who we have coming up. On Tuesday, December 29, we have Charles Carroll. We have the New Year's Eve stream on Thursday, December 21. We are going to have Paul Talk, who has a bone to pick with Geo, on Tuesday, January 5. Alexander Bard is back, along with Arash Kolahi. They are going to be talking economics and the future. We are going to have Tuesday, January 12th on Cyberpunk, on the theme of Cyberpunk. So send me people. I need to bring big people on here to become part of BTR, and with your help, we will do it. And just bring me big people who have something to do with Cyberpunk, and I will be forever grateful.
Because I know someone, but he might not be big enough, so I guess I'll run it by you first.
Honestly, not big enough, that's fine too. I just want to make sure, like, if you also know big people, bring those on. This is just like a general call to action for all the people who are watching this right now. You can DM me on... oh, yeah. My name is not here anymore. It's Break the Rules here. So, for those who don't know, I mean, how could... Okay, here. Lev Polyakov. I'm writing my name down at LevPo on Twitter. Have you guys not followed me on Twitter yet? What the fuck? LevPo on Twitter. Go there, follow me on Twitter, and send me a DM with books, with information, whatever. I'm gonna read everything. I'm gonna do all the research. And again, like, if there is something where I will say that, okay, this is interesting, but there's not enough tangibility here for me to say whether this is indeed the case, that's the category I'm gonna put it into. And unless something else is brought into to challenge that. Anyway, what else do we have coming up? Tuesday, January 19th, Sonic the Hedgehog. Thursday, January... Okay, hold on, let's skip that. Thursday, January 28th, Owen Cyclops is coming in. That one's going to be a hell of an event. So there we go, guys. We have a lot of great stuff in store for you. As you can see, we love you. You guys are the best. I don't see a message right now from Hotep Sophia. I'm not sure what's going on right now. Oh, wait. Maybe there is a message. Maybe there is. Hold on. No, this is something else. This is Corpse Carter, and you sent me a great excellent. Thank you so much.
It's about the Russian FDA. I know for sure I was going to forget it, so I wanted to send it now.
Thank you. And
Aman, it talks about how the Russian FDA, there's like almost a soft coup against another security organization, and how Russian organizations just constantly butt heads against each other.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I'm definitely going to take a look at that. And Aman, please send me some stuff as well, because I know that, again, you're more of a fan of Russia than I am, and I would love to send you some stuff, and please send me some stuff, because I want to learn, and I also want to share all the things that I know, and I think this is what this whole thing is about, just expanding all of our horizons.
I'll see if I can find some of this stuff, but my feelings are kind of built on like years of just like reading random stuff and then putting a picture together that makes sense to me. It's like playing a poker game. Like I just try to read the story of the bets and what the plays look like. So if I assume everyone's at a certain level of proficiency, I can kind of read what they're doing. So maybe it's just a schizo analysis. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I mean, I will give Putin credit of like putting on the air of somebody who I would expect to make better decisions. One thing that I do like is how he takes care of the Amur tigers. I think that's a very nice quality. Also, when he picked
Russia's so big that we have tigers.
Yes, when he picked that poor dog up. Do you remember there was that guy who built a statue of that same dog breed as well? Not Kyrgyzstan, some other Stan. There's another Stan country that this guy brought in this poor dog, this poor little puppy dog, and he picked the dog up like by the collar, and then Putin grabbed it and he was holding it, and it was much nicer. So I think that's a nice quality, so I'll definitely give him that. But from what I see, the whole thing is way more of a Potemkin village as far as the image that they display out to the world and the kind of shithole, frankly, that most people are living in there who are not living in the big cities. So that's at least what I'm able to see, and from the people who I know that are living there, who have been in Russia forever, and who have been in pretty top positions within just the culture. People who are still listened to today by Russians.
Maybe you could get the Russians with attitude guys on. Like they're Russian and they might have they'll have a way better perspective obviously than me. I'm just a schizo who enjoys a bit of Russia reading now and then, and Ukraine, Eastern Europe stuff. Like I like reading about it and stuff, but those guys they seem pretty sharp. I like their stuff. Maybe they'd come on.
That would be a lot of fun. The only thing is I would want to bring some people from more of my side as well. In other words, like people who would be more critical of the government, just because
they're not pro-Putin.
Oh, they're not? What are they?
No, they're kind of like as far as I can tell, they're kind of just very critical of any current hope. So I'm not sure. Maybe they're black-pilled. But I don't really know. I don't want to paint them unfairly, but they seem pretty balanced.
Well, I'll definitely take a look, and I'd love to bring all kinds of different people in, even Duginists. I don't know, I don't care. Like, even though a lot of people don't respect Dugin from, the circle, the more of the intellectual circles, the OG intellectual circles back in the day, like the people that used to smuggle in poetry into, in like books by Vladimir Nabokov, they used to smuggle them into Russia. And for those who don't know, my mom, who was like, she took some of these books and she got arrested and she got persecuted and she got expelled from her school because she was like reading the wrong books and sharing those books with other people. And the friend of my mom's, her family told on the KGB, both on my mom and on their own daughter. So that was like back then, that was the level of insanity that even your own parents would betray you because they think that would be the right thing to do, for the sake of the party. So just craziness. And by the way, Hotep Sophia says, let's see if you can hear me 1 second. I think she may be able to come in right at the end. I would just love just to hear from her. Hotep Sophia, she has been an OG BTR member for an incredibly long amount of time, and I love her. She's the best. So I want to make sure that we get a final word from her. Let me see.
For sure.
We're still...
Lev,
yes.
Have you heard about Dmitry Galkovsky?
Let me see. Let me connect the face to the name. What did he do?
The Russians with attitude, guys. They say he is the thinking man's Dugin. He only writes in Russian, though. Only writes in Russian.
It's interesting when you say the thinking man of Dugin, because Dugin himself, like, he's been around for a long time, and I've always thought of him speaking for himself, not really having anybody else to speak for him. So this is interesting. Let me take a look. I will find out what I can about this guy. I will find out what I can about this guy, and I will get back to you about this. This is interesting. This is good stuff. And I know, like, by the way, one position that I would say I'm closer to is the position of Jason Giorgiani regarding Russia. Although Jason Giorgiani believes that we can unite with Russia to fight China, but again, I personally think that I would love for that to happen. I don't think it'll ever happen right now. Like, Russia is not going to do anything to China because they still have this very anti-American bent where they'd rather China cuck them than, having anything, positive go for the Americans. And I understand the whole thing about, like the world banking and all that stuff. Where do the Russian oligarchs keep their money?
I think Tom Clancy predicted everything, and next we're gonna see China-Russia war. Tom Clancy already predicted everything we've seen.
Wait, who predicted this?
Tom Clancy, the novel writer.
Tom Clancy. Okay. Again, maybe I hope Russia would see the light as far as, because again, my big concern about China has more to do with advancing tech, biotech, all that crap. Like, if they run rampant with all that, that would be like a real hell on earth. Look what they're doing to the pigs. Imagine what they do to the human-pig hybrids. Holy shit.
For sure.
That is dangerous.
That's the ultimate dystopia. We don't want China, for sure.
And even though, like, Giorgiani writes for Arctos, every time I say Arctos, I always think of Arc Toast, like having toast in the shape of an arc. Yeah, but anyway, Arctos also publishes Dugin stuff, I believe, and his disagreement with Dugin and this whole Eurasianism is he sees, and I think correctly Giorgiani sees, the Eurasianism being much more of the slave mentality that the Russians had when they were under the Golden Horde, as opposed to, let's say, this more Promethean. I mean, Giorgiani and Prometheanism, he always talks about Promethean, but he sees that Prometheanism as being something that the Russian people could tap into that is far older than this Eurasianism that they experienced when they were enslaved. But anyway, we got Hotep Sophia here. Hotep Sophia in the house. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Sophia.
I don't think I've met you, Corpse Carter, before.
we were on, it was a long time ago. It was Great Reset.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
A long time ago. And this is the first time I've ever been on video on the stream.
Nice.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Are you making anything for Christmas? Any food that we can see? I remember last time.
Oh no, I had to cook earlier. I did 3 different kinds of cookies today, and I have 3 more cookies to bake. I'm frying a turkey tomorrow. Making mac and cheese. Anyway, I have a lot of food to cook tomorrow.
Nice.
That's why I'm so late.
You're making me hungry. I actually ate a cookie too. I ate 1 cookie today. Unfortunately, it was with raisins. Ugh.
Yeah, I had to make oatmeal raisin cookies. That's what my dad likes. I'm like, just give me regular oatmeal cookies.
Yeah, well, chocolate chip is great. Chocolate chip.
I have chocolate.
I like it with peanut butter. You ever had a peanut butter and chocolate chip cookie?
No, but that sounds pretty good too.
Good stuff.
I actually made some gluten-free, sugar-free with the gluten-free flour blend and the sugar-free with coconut sugar. and it's also sourdough. So I'll be interested to see if those taste like actual cookies and not
Oh, by the way, there's a lot of sound coming from the background.
Yeah, it's loud where I am.
Yeah, but no, that's fine. It's a party atmosphere. It's a party atmosphere, and this is a Christmas. This is Christmas Day. It's a Christmas party. So I think we're gonna be ending it pretty much right now. But I just want to say, I just want to say, Hotep Sophia, thank you so much for coming in today. Thank you for making it, and everybody here. This was an amazing stream. We had so much fun. And can you make it to the New Year's stream? Can you make it?
Oh, New Year's will be fine. New Year's will be
excellent. Excellent.
I'll be solid.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, guys, this is it. This is the end of the stream.
Yeah, I was about to head
Everybody,
out.
please subscribe. Please subscribe who have not subscribed before. I love you all. You guys are the best. I love having these conversations. We're going to bring everybody in to talk. This is what we do. This is how BTR goes. So, guys, I am going to end this stream right now. I already told you about the events we have coming up. Mwah! Good night, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.